Tiger should eat his fucking head off. Elon Musk should have to take his dick out for a dick measuring contest in a Roman Coliseum, and much like Maximus Aurelius had to deal with, the tiger comes running out and just sucks and bites his dick off.
KFC Radio live on stage in Jersey City at the White Eagle Hall. It's our local show. We always try to make sure we hit the New York or New Jersey scene. So if you are in the New York City area, if you're in Jersey, if you haven't ever made the trek over to Manhattan and you want to see us on stage, now's your chance. KFC Radio Live, me and Feidelberg doing all the things you can't hear on the podcast, the things we're not allowed to put on the internet. We're going to be doing a meet and greet. Come through, drink some pirate water, have a good time. Get your tickets available now on all KFC Radio social media.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
No, we can't. No, we can't roll.
Jackie gets flustered around the air conditioning guy at the office.
It's
Jackie's got a new crush. His name is Sparky.
I don't
our
think it's the
boy.
first time you said that. I think you said it like
you're into Sparky.
I've said that I'm into Sparky, but off air.
Yeah.
This.
I think you just kind of hanging out, being like, it's fucking hot, right?
Sparky can get it. Like, I think there's a quote like, I would suck Sparky's dick.
I love a man who can fucking grease on his hands.
I mean, you gotta watch on YouTube. We'll put a picture up of Sparky so you get the full.
Sparky's
visual
the
here.
man.
Sparky is the man. There is nobody at Barstool Sports that respects me. Sparky is the
yeah.
only one. Sparky came in here, so Sparky's like the HVAC guy. He's always dealing with the heating and the air conditioning, and always making sure like the everything in the building is working. And he would come in, and I'd be like sweating, and Jackie would be like in a sweatshirt, and Colleen would be under a blanket, and it'd be like space heaters going, and I'd be like, I need you to fix the air conditioning. And they'd be like, no, it's cold. And he would look at me. He'd be like, don't listen to that. He goes, this is about you. He goes, whose name is on this? It's yours. Whose studio is this? This is yours. What you say, I do. You tell me. Forget about them. I was like, kill them. Fucking killers.
I tried to after we had flirted a little bit, so I was like, so can you
No.
turn it down a little bit? And he was like, no, if KFC doesn't say to turn it down.
That's
like,
my man.
turn it
There's
down.
only one thing that might break his respect for me, and it'd be like, Jackie's sleeping with him. He'd be, listen, you're my boy and all, but I mean, come on.
Jackie, I'd respect that too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would tip my
I'm
cap.
gonna get colder in here no matter what.
We still gotta suck, yeah.
Fucking Sparky. He actually is the only guy to ever make me feel like, yeah, you're fucking right. I'm gonna go ask for a raise while I'm at it, Sparky. Yeah, man.
There was one day, where, one of my earlier times getting to know Sparky, and this is back when I did the Barstool Snapchat show a lot.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I love you on Snapchat. And I was like, cool, man, thanks. And then walking home, I was walking by a construction site, and some dude was like, Snapchat guy. I was like, am I big with blue collar workers on Snapchat?
Am I in my manual labor era?
Take out my Taylor Swift. What'd you say? Fucking love you on Snapchat.
He got his jackhammer. I love your Snapchat takes. That's funny. Sparky's the man. As you're listening right now, don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. It seems like that sound is gone. We'll see how long it lasts. Nick just literally flipped one switch. Whether or not air is still coming out, God bless you, we'll find out. Hopefully it's even colder and we'll freeze Jackie to death. The problem here is that they build these studios and different rooms and offices that then separate the air conditioning ducts from this used to be an open space, and this fucking giant thing with vents would cool down the whole area, but then we just built a couple walls around it to break up studios and whatnot. So we did not think about the layout of the new office back then, and we did not think about the layout of the new office now, because we built a whole new New York City area in the office. It's not a new office, but it's a new setup inside the office where none of the desks where people work at have outlets. No electricity to charge computers for the internet company.
It's nice to be getting back to our roots.
Yes.
It is.
Can we you know what we should do? Let's get a live squirrel and just let it out. Every day there's a live squirrel running around here while nobody has electricity. Fuck yeah. Pete, we know we don't have internet. Now we don't have electricity. Let's get a live squirrel, and we're back.
We got couches though.
We got couches.
We got-
None of these couches match. None of them are comfortable. None of them look right.
It looks exactly like if someone Googled
Google Office.
cool corporate office.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
In-
that's perfect.
in
That's
2011.
Yeah.
Because I think even the lame corporate offices are probably cooler than they were now. We have the old ones.
It looks like if I was.
It looks like a WeWork, a glorified WeWork.
100. It is. If I is that the Barstool office?
Wait, that is the bar.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
But it is.
It is.
It's just.
Oh
the
my
Bar-
God, that's the office.
It's the Barstool office.
That
It
is the office.
It's
With
yeah.
a couple pillars, like that's the office.
It is.
What did you Google?
WeWork example.
Yep. You know
But
what this
it's-
is? You know what just happened? All right, this will be the inside Barstool portion of the show. Just to take a quick detour, but it'll tie back. The Threads app was
Yeah.
launched, and we'll get into Threads a little bit later. But our head of social media, the little finger of Barstool,
Oh my God.
Gaz, Paul, sales guy, Gaz Golzinski, he runs the whole company.
Yes.
The other day, Dave, when we were talking about Threads on the rundown, Dave said, he's like, not to get all, uptight about it, but Zuckerberg, if he owns Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, he owns, like, the media. And that's too much power in, like, one hand. Like, in Britain, Threads is not allowed because of that.
Really?
You cannot get Threads in Britain because they're like, this is too much for one person and one company to control. And he was like, Zuckerberg runs everything. And then as we finish the
Funny
rundown,
that Britain is like, you're gonna control everything. What the fuck is going on? You
it's
guys
something
can't-
like if one country just tried to own all the other countries. We're not going to let that happen. God
crazy.
save the Queen.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But by the end of the rundown, I was like, Zuckerberg is Gaz. Gaz is Zuckerberg. At Barstool, every time I want to clear something with sales, anytime I want to clear something with social, anytime I want to clear something with management, that we talk about it, and at the end they go, we just got to talk to Gaz. And then like last steps is we got to talk to Gaz. Like this guy, I called him Littlefinger forever, but he sits on the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
He inherited the company.
Yeah.
Dave checked out. Erica made him her right-hand man. He runs all this shit, and he does not even lift a finger.
I don't know if it was ever said he's Tom Wamsgams.
Yeah, yeah. He inherited the company. He was like this buffoon moron who just stuck around and made the right connections, and then when the time was
Copy
right,
and pasted the right FAQs to email the company.
dude, he sent us, here's everything you need to know about Threads, and it was literally he cut and pasted Threads on their website, their FAQs, to the point that he forgot to change the word "we." One of the questions. And by the way, if you were to do frequently asked questions for Barstool for Threads, it would be like, "How do I sign up? Can I change my username? Like, is there an separate app, or do I open my like things like that? Not things like." How many countries are you available in?
Yeah. In
You know,
case
like,
you guys are
nobody at
wondering,
Barstool-
Threads, the one powered by Meta, it's available in over 100 countries.
and it said,
Okay, Gaz.
It said, we're available in 100.
I got mad at myself for reading it. I was like, what the fuck was I like? What did I think I was going to gain from
When
this?
it said, we hope to be in all of the countries by the end of the year, and he sent that as if it was a Barstool email, you dickhead. This is all to say that, how was I going to relate it back? What were we talking about? The new office
New
and
office.
Gaz running everything? It was going to make sense. It was, I swear.
The new office
I
is
swear.
it is exactly what it should be, and that's bad, but it's also like it's what we are. Like we've talked about it, where it's like
What we've become.
You can't. It's just corporate office. That's just what it is. If we were trying to pretend to be anything else, it
would be
would
fraudulent,
it would be
yeah.
fraud. It would be lame.
But
It's just
there's...
it could be it's bad.
Yeah.
It could be better, but everything's always going to be comparisons to Chicago from now on forever.
Yes.
I don't want Chicago's office either. I would have no
Yeah.
interest in like a fucking
fair
dunk
hou-
tank in the
warehouse.
office.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
like we talked about the Fantasy Factory 10 years ago, and then it was a 10-year late idea
Mm-hmm.
that like I wouldn't want that either. So I don't know what I'd want. But I was thinking about it today where I was like, what? Because we were talking about the rundown. I was looking out at it. I was like, what would be the good thing here? the good thing, the only available option is do cool shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like when we talk about Milton, we talk like it was not a good office.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
It was terrible.
It was awful. It sucked.
Yeah.
But it's
But you
fun.
did cool
But
shit.
it's now like we did cool
Yes.
shit. We could be like,
Yes.
yeah, we had a squirrel. We didn't have internet.
Yeah.
And bugs fell
And
from the
you
ceiling.
romanticize it, but at the time it was trash.
Like,
but you were doing cool shit.
Just make cool shit
Yeah.
in the office, and then
And it
in
doesn't
15
matter.
years, you could be like, dude, I made cool shit in the fucking lobby of a Holiday Inn Express. Like it is.
Yes,
That's
exactly that.
all
Exactly
you can do.
that.
It's like it kind of was like you give the tools to whatever. Like it's not the carpenter. It's not the carpenter. It's not the tools. It's the carpenter. Like sure, there could be other things that you could, but I don't know. Like what we're gonna have a big fucking thing that we're gonna use twice a year. That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah, but
Just-
I don't want the fantasy factory, but I just wanted more shit to do. Like when you go to a fun bar, there's usually like some cool spaces to sit and then like a couple things to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just try to make that environment. And instead it just became a bunch of different disjointed couches and then they left 2 arcades in the room.
It's
And they
it
put
very
up-
much
they put
has
up-
that vibe of like. I think I said it already, or if I said it right now, but like we're not a regular office, we're a cool office. And
Yes.
you have to say that out loud, which we are saying by our setup. It's not.
And they kept showing me designs, and I was kind of like, I've told you what I want, and you're not doing that. So don't show this to me anymore, because I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what I want. I don't know what the answer is. I don't
Yeah.
know what cool couches are versus what are ugly couches. Or we're like, what's a... Like, that couch looks like it's from a WeWork lobby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, sort of, if you bought, like, a living room couch, like a big fucking comfy couch. I don't know what to put in there. But I was also like, just do what you're going to do. Because that's what, that's what always happens.
And then
here.
we have to do what we're gonna do. Like,
But so this is all to say though, there's no electricity for the people who need to charge their computers. There's a bunch of couches, one that doesn't have legs to it. You can't sit on it. Like, don't sit on that one; it's gonna break. None of them like match or are cohesive. But I came into the office, usually where I would have just sat in our studio, and I said I'm gonna go out there and hang out. And within 2 minutes, me, Trent, Glenny, Rudy, Marty, Bob, all were. It was like old school, like we were shooting the shit. We were
Yeah.
recapping Frankie's wedding. We basically had a podcast. We were talking about Trent on The Bachelor. We were making fun of Trent and how he lives in Long Island now. And Glenny.
I like how we had a podcast. Having conversations is just becoming we had a podcast. It's a podcast.
But it was. I mean, Liam and Zach came to film it because I think they're just like starving for stool scenes type content. And I mean, I think Zach might have filmed a 30-minute video on his phone because they were just like, we need all of this content now. We haven't been getting it in New York. So at least for today, it did a better job of that.
And I think it'll be fine. It'll be a
And-
place to sit.
And
It's
but
just like-
and also if the clips that you see and the videos that you see of those conversations are funny and good, like if you think about the good stool scenes moments or the funny in office moments when like Dave is like calling Tommy alarmingly stupid and stuff, no one's ever like, oh, look at The Office.
Yeah, right.
It's about what's going on.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
it's about doing like good shit with good people, and then the rest of it doesn't matter. The problem is if the content's not like perfect, people start to look at other things, and then it's like, oh, and also this place sucks. You know
It
what I mean?
is. It's like it's part of the way the world is now. Not just with media companies. It's with like the it's with birthing announcements. Like everything needs to be like an announcement. It's just like I don't know. We put some couches in the office. It's
Yeah.
not, don't say it's a redo or redesign.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say that, like you have to nail it. You have to
that's-
know this wasn't
yeah.
gonna nail it.
That's where
If
I-
we have some. We moved some desks and we put some couches in. It doesn't need an announcement.
Yeah. The way I wanted to do it was more of a fantasy factory, not a fantasy factory, but more just like activity based and things that you do, because I think that would have been redesign of like the way we do things. I think rather than just come in and sit on a couch with someone, if we put on a lav mic and they're doing something and it's like you kind of hang out here and then you walk over there and the whole time we're filming the conversations and that is the content, I think that almost changes the content game in a way. But if that's not going to happen, then it just is going to be a room.
Yeah.
Then like I don't know. Then it's like I don't really care how it looks, or as long as we can get some of that content
They're supposed to be doing what you want in the bar area when they go to redesign that, but I don't know what the timeline is on that. It's just like, but they're gonna have to destroy a bar and then put in.
But
that
like
stuff.
the bar was a cool thing. We used the bar 5 fucking times.
So
like nothing.
Well, you gotta use the stuff if they put it in.
Yeah.
That's for certain.
There is going to be a different bar, I'm pretty sure, but it'll just
But
be.
even I mean, Friday Night Pints, like if they sold it, it would have been, it was a good show, and it did like that setup was unique and different, and I think even if we used it once a week the way we did, I think that like justifies having a bar.
Yeah.
But we were the only ones that did it.
Right.
But if it's just gonna be people like blogging and like going to their studios, then like that space doesn't really matter. But I don't know. This is all to say, it doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as like good and funny shit comes out of it. But if you're taking it at face value and it's talked about as a redesign, it's just a bunch of like office couches, like lobby couches. That's what they are.
I think it's
Or lobby
again like
couches.
kind of like what I was saying earlier, where like it is what we're supposed to be. Like it kind of speaks to like the company as a whole. Where I think we're in like a stage where
Middle ground.
yeah, it's like when you're growing your hair out.
Yeah,
and you have to go
that's
through
a
that
great-
awkward
that's a
phase.
great call.
Like
Yeah.
we're not the fucking plucky upstarts anymore.
Yeah.
But
We're not like a
we're-
TV channel.
We're not
like
iconic
like
either.
ESPN,
we're just
like,
a fucking big company.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what it looks like.
Right.
It's like yeah, you just have to live through this and hopefully get out the other side and become like a company where it's like
Well, you also I think
has a campus, but there's
yeah. I also think that these things kind of develop like you live in them, and then it's like oh, that's the couch where we like do XYZ on it because we've been here for a couple months. And
Yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah.
And whenever we film, that's where we do the casting couch. That's where because these things like take form once you do it a little bit. But the New York redesign is awesome, says Stephen Che. Of course, this is Stephen Che. This office is Stephen Che. But it is very funny that there's no electricity, because it's just like, how does that not get thought of at all? Frank is mad that he has to sit on couches now. So Dan apparently keeps whispering in his ear, they're squeezing you out. They're trying to get you out of this office. he has to he can't watch his TV, and he has to sit on a couch, which is just no go for Frank. I guess he doesn't do couches. Frank the Tank doesn't do couches, I guess. But this is also to say that this would have been like a thing and complained about, like no matter what, you know what I mean? Unless you
That's what I'm saying. If you
absolutely
make it a
somehow
thing
nailed it
and nail it, then it's fine. But if you make it a thing, you have to know you're gonna nail it. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
why is there an announcement for?
Just
I
a
guess
bunch-
the rundown set's a little different.
Yeah, they changed.
And-
They changed some desks.
like
do other
there's-
companies announce when they change desks?
there's-
I don't think so.
Why is
But-
there all the ham on the rundown set? Is that just a joke that someone trying to do, or are we sponsored by cans of ham?
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
This fucking
I
place.
think it's somebody trying to do.
Glad
a
we're
joke and
sponsored by
it's-
anything.
But it's maybe this is why I brought up Gaz before. I really can't remember why I did that. But when I said to Dave, like he runs the company now, he was like, "How? He's never even there." You got to find him at the Chicken Box or Space or 11, one of those clubs all the time. So it's also like the people who are gonna be here are the ones who really gotta like live it and do it and like it and all that.
You
shit.
just
But
have to do cool. Like you have to just do good stuff. That's no matter what the office looks like.
that's what it comes down to.
Just do cool shit, and the office will be cool because cool shit happens in it.
At the very least, I do think it will inspire a little more. Like I don't go out there when I was like, I don't even have a desk anymore. I don't want to sit at a desk. I want to go like shoot the shit. And if
Yeah.
a couple guys are sitting around like a table and I can sit on the other couch and talk, I'll go do that.
Right.
And then that just spurs like, conversation and collaboration and storylines and all that sort of shit. I mean, we talked for half an hour about Trent abandoning his family in Iowa. It's great. I'm trying to convince Trent that he should go live like anywhere he wants, and because that son of a bitch Frankie Borelli's holding him back. He lives in Bayshore, Long Island. For what fucking reason? He should just go live like Riggs does, like live on a golf course, go like live on Pebble Beach or some shit, So we're like, go, just do it, just go, man, don't worry. So yeah, that's the new office. I do think I'm going to talk next week a little bit more about what is going to be going on inside the office, not just how it looks. But there's been a lot of fanfare about Chicago, and we're going to get into some of the what's actually going to be going on in New York. But we'll do that next week. But I am interested to see what happens with the plugs, because I don't think you can just like throw in an outlet. I think you have to like wire it all, and
that's insanity. It's
insanity. It is fucking.
It's like it's actually to the point where I'm just like disappointed. I'm not. It's just, I'm not surprised, but God, you fucking stepped on your nuts again. Huh?
You know what? You know what is kind of crazy though. As much as what you're saying is true, like do other companies announce when they change a desk? It's like we probably should have hired like an interior decorator company, right? I think Logan just like did it himself, and like people were just like coming up with their own blueprints, and it's like for a company of this size where we're like it's starting a new chapter, we probably should have done this professionally. And I think we just did it ourselves. Which is, I mean, that is the Barstool way and all that. But it's like, again, are we doing it this way? Like, are we going to be the old Barstool or the new Barstool? But this in between is like, meh.
There's a 30 Rock episode where they're trying to design a new, unique kind of microwave. And they're like all working hard, working late nights, ties coming loose, blah, blah, blah. And they think they finally nailed it. And like, we did it. And then someone comes with a fresh pair. Because they had it mobilized. Like, you could move. It was on wheels. And they had multiple doors and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then someone comes in with new eyes and goes, it's a Pontiac Aztec. And they're like, scrap it. We fuck it. And I think that's what happened. Like, all right, we're going to have this and this. And then a fresh pair of eyes walked in and went, that's a hotel lobby.
Yes. I guess that is probably the case. But not that we could have done this exactly, but do you remember the first time we did it, and every time we brought somebody to, I think they called it the Great Room in Whistlepig? That big room. Like, everyone was like, wow, this is a fucking awesome room. And that was, it's rustic and had this huge fireplace and mounted, antlers and all these things that you can't really have in an office. But when you like walk into a place that's like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
And because the beauty of Barstool is like, all right, we do need some desks with electricity, but other than that, we can do whatever the fuck we want. So we probably should have, I don't know, hired somebody or found somebody that's like, I guarantee you this is a problem for other companies and other people that somebody has solved.
Right.
You want to be modern, but you don't want to look cliche. You don't want it to be an office, but you don't want to look like you're trying to not be an office, blah, 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 blah. This is what we do. Mm-hmm. And we're just like, give me some Raymore and Flanagan couches. So, whatever. It's all about the content, not about how it looks anyway. So, if the people could have it, they would want us, in a dentist's office with a squirrel chewing through the cords. So
to do the Milton, which everyone looks back on so romantically, as we said, like that was a genuinely depressing office to walk into. like people would come in and be like, how are you guys alive? Yep. Like, why haven't you killed? You guys should kill yourself.
I did that. Like who people most really regard as like the most negative person in the world. I remember walking in and almost being like annoying. Like I was like trying to chat everybody up. I was like, "What's up, Lou? How you doing, man? And how about you?
No,
and how
no
about
one
you?"
talked to each other.
Because I was like, "What is going on here, guys? Like, It was the middle of the summer. Let's hang out a little bit." And it was just like head down, like, fuck this.
And mind you, like even in the moment, I was saying we look at it romantically. Even in the moment, I did like it. Like it was like not like I wasn't like this is a great office, but I was like I liked it because it had the feel of like we're just working. Like we're here, we're fucking blogging, we're being funny. Like we're working.
Yep.
And I think that's what here should have too. We're working. That's what we're doing.
Right.
If work is fun, but we're fucking working.
Look at that! Oh my God, what is that? That room was ridiculous. So yeah, we'll see what the new Gaz, this motherfucker. At some point, you do just have to tip your cap with Gaz. There was a period of time where I joked about him. Then there was a period of time where I realized it was a reality. Then there was a period of time where I was resentful of it because I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And now I'm just like, bro. As somebody who, preached about mailing it in and snake it till you make it and all that, like, he did it better than maybe anybody has ever done it.
Yeah.
Truly. Truly, though, if you look at his skills, his skill set that he was, like, born with and, like, what he was and the amount of money he's made and, like, the title and the power he holds at Barstool, it might be the greatest case in human history of, like, outkicking your coverage or overachieving in the business world.
Yeah.
It might literally be. This is like
I think Yaz did
tall, bald asshole who became a millionaire and like runs, like behind the scenes runs like $1 billion company. It's fucking insane. So yeah, we'll see what comes next. It is weird being around this long to now see, Love is in the Air at Barstool, and to see multiple engagements and a wedding and all these things that, again, at regular companies, it's not fanfare when somebody gets married at another company. Someone gets engaged at a different company. It's just like, okay, you are just an employee here. You have your life. Something happened in your personal life. Okay. Here it is. I mean, but I guess,
and I like
as much
that.
as I said that,
It's
also,
like
we're a reality show,
right?
So we are, it is a big deal. But the Chicks in the Office dual engagement coming right before the Frankie Borelli wedding. I mean, the season like 20 script or whatever, season 19 script of Barstool is certainly one for the record books. I don't want to call it the deal with the devil with Dave, because especially in this case, because there are things that he was like directly on the opposite side of and against. But in general, the deal of the devil with Barstool and the timing of everything, like these two getting engaged a day apart is fucking, you can't script it. It's like absolutely unbelievable. And the content that will come out of this, they're already joking around about bride wars and all that sort of shit. Like two girls who became inseparable, do the show every day, grew from like, we're the girls who like fold t-shirts in the merch closet to,
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. That's where they filmed. My brother filmed them in the merch closet. Was their first episode.
Yeah.
They were in literally a closet, and now are like, this powerhouse show in the entertainment world. They're on red carpets. They're nominated for People's Choice Awards. Fran and Rhea and Fran, like everything all the time. And then within like a 24-hour window, they all get engaged. It's crazy. And then to watch Frankie get married is like, I guess Frankie's actually an adult now, right? He's like 28, 29.
Yeah, he's a little older.
Like that's I still think of Frankie as like a kid.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's old enough to be getting married. But the Borelli wedding was over the weekend, and Frankie and his wife nailed it. It was like it was at Bethpage Black, right? Or no, that's where. Yes, Bethpage Black, and it was like classy and nice, but then also got fun later. Like sometimes you can't really have it all. It's like it was the fun wedding, but it looked like shit, or like the food was bad. And then sometimes it's like, wow, this place is really, very nice, but that means you can't like have fun on the dance floor and all that shit. It was really like the perfect blend of it.
Your video of Matt Martin and whoever else trying to take Tommy's shirt off was so goddamn
good.
funny.
There was so many.
I'll take it. Just don't rip my buttons, please.
It was so perfect. There was actually a lot of funny videos. Like maybe we'll put some in this video that I didn't post. Stu Feiner at the wedding. So first of all, let me go to the church itself. We're in the church in the afternoon. Stu Feiner is dressed literally like the guy at the club who gives you drugs, and he was talking about how he's like, I got a guy who can give us 8 balls for the after party right now. He's in a t-shirt, but it's not like a t-shirt. It's like a club shirt. It's like a club t-shirt. Like it had
at the wedding.
Yes, at the ceremony, it was like I think it was maybe Louis Vuitton.
Why?
So it was like LV, like white on white. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like stripes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a t-shirt, and he had red velvet like dress shoes on. He said, because I live 5 minutes from the church, so my real wardrobe changed at 7 at the reception. Like, why couldn't you just put on something nice?
That's also a very Barstool thing. If someone was like doing outfit changes at your wedding, like, what the fuck are you doing?
So perfect lead in. So Dave actually tweets the picture of him and starts kind of like ribbing him on Twitter, and then Stu pulls it up and starts showing his phone to everybody. And Stu went from church voice to like loud voice, like, and I had to be like, shh, 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 like calm down. But like you said, perfect Barstool moment. Frankie and his wife are on the altar, literally saying their vows. And I'm sitting next to Stu. It's Dave, me, Stu, and Stu turns to me, and he said it. His delivery was so dead serious, and his choice of words were so preposterous. I thought he was joking, so I chuckled and laughed. And then I realized he just kept looking at me like, so what's the answer? As Frankie's like literally to have and to hold, to death do us part, he says to me, do you think Frankie wants me to take a video of this right now and post it on the internet? I was like, I can't think of anything they would want less than that. Like in the moment, you being like from 30 rows away in church and then just posting it right.
How are you going to subtitle it here?
And so I was like, and then he looked at me and I had to be like, no, do not do that. But he was so tame at the reception. No ready to roll, no crazy nonsense. All he did was film the whole wedding. Forget your videographer, hire Stu Feiner. He would just be like, the band is fucking awesome. And then he would just stand there. Like one hand at his side, one hand here. I actually have a video of me filming him doing the video. Everything. The singer, the pianist, he was filming like the room, he was filming the speeches. It's just like he's got 4 hours of content on his phone. But no, like he just kind of sat with the beautiful Sandy and just kind of was just like, let me see if I have the video of him filming. He was just filming the like as if he needed to take this home and watch like game tape. It was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so the Islanders are at the wedding, and when they get going, apparently their thing is, naturally they rip clothes off. I think, I guess it's a hockey thing or an Islanders thing that when Piano Man comes on, you take your pants off and sing it. So I guess at Matt Martin and Sydney Esiason's wedding, he's pantsless singing Piano Man. But their thing is they all rip each other's shirts off, and it was funny even hear them say it. They were like, well, because, like we're, basically we're all gay. We're all gay. We do gay shit. And so the beginning of the night is pretty tame, and there's music for the older people, and we're eating, and, at that point, and they're like, we're feeling it out. Like, we don't know. And the wives and the wags are like, this is not one of our weddings. Like, you can't do that. Eventually, and this all stems from when Frankie was at one of their weddings. I think he was at Casey Cizikas' wedding. They ripped Frankie's shirt off in the first hour. And he said, quote, and, Frankie's telling this to me on the dance floor. He's like, they did it to me at the other wedding. I'm walking around with my cum belly out the whole time. He said he sat at dinner with his cum belly out, just eating. No buttons, just like still had the tie on, I think, like around his neck. And just no buttons. So they eventually get Frankie. They rip his off. They rip a couple others off. There was one guy from Frankie's like hometown. I don't know who he is. Big boy, though. Big guy. He got ripped off, and he was just doing O'Doyle rules the whole time. Every time I turn around, I could see the guy's pits. I was like, put your pits away, man. He was like the crazy one at the bachelor party who like didn't change his clothes for 3 days. So I was like, that checks out. They're getting everyone left and right, and Frankie's like, we're getting you, Tommy. We're getting you. And I can just see Tommy being the neurotic little like non-Jewish Jewish boy that he is, being like, oh no, I don't want this. And eventually it was just like, I think Frankie like sicked Matt Martin on him. He was like, go get him. And he's like, you're next. And he's coming at him with his paws. And Tommy legitimately negotiated. He was like, okay, wait. I get it. I'll do it. It's a brand new shirt. Don't ruin the buttons. And just starts, and they were kind of like, okay. Like the only rule here is you got to have like your chest out. So however you want to get there, sounds good. But, I mean, could not have been more of a Tommy moment. It's a brand new shirt, guys. It's like, you guys are nuts.
Didn't want to rip his necklace to his belly button.
That was crazy.
That was nuts.
There was some interesting stuff there. He had that chain hanging to his dick. He could have put that around his dick. Rudy had the bolo tie. Dave had no tie.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a thing. I saw apparently your boy made a video being like, you got to have a tie at the wedding. Who's your boy who makes those TikToks? The fashion guy?
Oh, no, not the TikTok, the tweets.
Tweets?
Yeah,
okay.
spot.
Yeah, he said it's a good outfit, but he just said you got to wear a tie to the wedding.
Yeah. I'm a big I think you can get to a wedding and be like, oh, this is casual, I'll take it off. But I think you should always have a tie at the wedding. Even summertime, whatever you want, just always have the tie, and then you can adjust accordingly. Rudy wore the bolo tie. Trent, it was funny. It was like the guys who were getting their shirts ripped off versus the guys who weren't. Like Trent had on his shirt, his tie, and his jacket the whole night, and no one was fucking with Big Guy. Nobody was ripping that open. Nobody wanted to rip it open. It was kind of just like, certain people are getting ripped apart and certain people are not. But yeah, that was the Barstool gang there. Great wedding, great time. Frankie and his wife nailed it. I said to him, you almost batted 1,000. You went 1,999 out of 2,000. But the table number sign was an issue.
Why?
I meant to bring it in because I stole it. We're going to put it up on the wall of fame here, or at least somebody's wall of fame. It's actually a nod to how great the wedding was, because Dave is going to come to your wedding and he's going to criticize it and tell you what he doesn't like. And the only thing he could do was our table 8 sign. And he talked about it. Now, to be fair, that picture is unbelievable. Don't zoom in. Don't just bring it back out. It's literally like one of those highlights. Like, can you find the picture?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
No. Wait, what?
It's like a stop sign. It's like
And then 8 is in there?
and then it says 8 written out.
Oh, on the tablecloth it says 8?
No, that's what I mean. It's a plastic thing standing up. It's a plastic sign.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
right. So Dave goes. He's like, "Bah! I mean, he goes, if Marina wasn't already sitting at the table, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even be able to find my seat." and we all kind of see it, and especially that picture. That picture is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like camouflage. It's like an invisibility cloak. And then like 10 minutes later, he's like, "That sign, table 8." Just out of nowhere, he'd be eating and he'd just bring it up. His tweet was very funny. He said something like there's some lost souls who never made it to our table. Some table 8, some good men at table 8 who never made it. Let me show you the picture I took. So, you can't see it there at all, right? But then when you have the flash, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
So, in defense of the Borelli wedding and Hannah, and I'm sure whoever put all this effort in, she said there was supposed to be a candle behind it. And when there's light behind it, you can see everything.
Yeah.
So that's what was going on there. But in typical Dave and Barstool fashion, it's like, when you post a picture and like in the background, like there's the wires for your TV. And now nobody cares about the content of the video and what you're doing. It's just about the wires of the TV. All of a sudden, for like an hour at our table, the Borelli wedding becomes about table 8 and the fucking sign. And it's every 5 minutes. I mean, it's crazy. It's good. It's crazy, guys. It was straight out of Larry David. It was straight out of Curb. It was so unbelievable. And he was just like, I think I'm going to write a blog, the 10 things that the Borellis got wrong at their wedding. And I mean, Tommy was like, I can't tell Frankie this. He's going to hang himself right fucking there from the Raptors. Tell him that right now. But the way, like, as funny as that, the whole thing Dave was doing was, it was Frankie, like, asking and finding out about it. He comes over to, like, Trent and Tommy, like, his boys, and he's like, hey, guys, everyone's having fun, and he's like, how's Dave? Like, is Dave good? What does he think? And they were like, it's good. He's good. He's having a good time. And he's like, yeah, like he's enjoying himself. And they're like, yes. And Frankie's like, what the fuck's going on? I can hear it in your voice. What's the problem? And they're like, the table sign was a thing. It was a thing. I said, what do you mean it's a thing? What does that mean? It's a thing. It was a thing. It was just a thing. He's like, what the fuck do you mean? And he's explaining it, and Frankie's like, what the fuck? I'm going to fucking kill these people. I told him to. But, I mean, in the end, it was like, that was the only thing, to really pick apart. But he is just, when he left, like, he dipped out once. I think people got probably, like, if I had to guess, maybe 3-4 rounds of drinks in, and they just started coming up to him, and that's when I think he was like, all right, I'm out. But the vibe just changes, like, entirely. It was funny. It was like we were almost like everyone's picking, like, okay, who can I like who can we slaughter so that he's not picking on us who are there.
Yeah.
You know? It was Nate.
Yeah.
Dave said his new hobby is just looking at Nate's tweets and how little engagement they get and laughing about them. He actually shouted you out on the rundown. He said you nailed it. That every Nate tweet should be followed by. Dude,
I texted Nate that night. I was like, I don't think this is the intended purpose, but every one of your tweets made me laugh out loud.
When he got on the plane and then it landed back.
Dude, that one in particular fucking crushed me. I was
Dave
dying.
was like, he goes, whether he's breaking his leg, whether he's losing his citizenship in America, whether his plane's delayed, whether he's getting beat in poker. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Yeah, he has been a sad boy season for sure.
He texted me the other day. He's like, everyone's getting engaged or married. And I was like, I know where this is going. I go, and does that make you happy? He goes, it makes me depressed. I was like, yeah. I had a feeling.
All my friends are finding the love of your life. Does that make you happy? No. No. Yeah, he is just leaning into the sad boy, but not even like meaning to. It's just so sad. So he just it was just like anytime it felt like maybe you were going to be in the crosshairs, it was just like, so Nate, you know? It is funny watching people not know how to deal with Dave. Like, I watched Trent and Riggs do it at one point, who are like seasoned veterans. You would think would get it. Dave was like, so where are you boys off to next? In what world do you think Dave actually cares where you're going next? He's obviously about to talk about bamboozling and how much you travel. And Riggs, I think, unless he played it like gorgeously, which I just don't think he did, I think he honestly, he goes, I think it's either Hawaii or like Pebble Beach next. I'm not sure. And Dave, of course, goes, oh, okay. Oh, I don't know which one it is. Is it the Amalfi Coast, or is it Italy, or is it Hawaii? I don't know. And I'm like, you fuckers did not see that coming? Like the whole, as you were about to say where you're going next, I was like, it's like, he is not interested in where you're going. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, there was a couple other like conversations like that where people like, it's like, did you forget who you're fucking talking to? He had a couple moves, though, that were, I mean... We got out of the reception, and we're all outside the church, and there's a gap. There's a few hours in between. Stu was trying to recruit everyone to his house. I'm 5 minutes away. Let's go. I got the best Coke in the world. Oh, by the way, he carries not a satchel. It's almost like a man clutch.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a thing. But it's just a leather, and it's pretty thick. It's got this like flap, and he had his cell phone and like I don't even know what else in there. But I was just like, oh, is that like what you carry? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I've been doing it since 1981. You know, back then I had $100,000 cash, a gun, and an 8-ball. But no, he goes, $100,000 cash, a gun, and an eighth of a key. But you know, now it's just like my phone and my little like pocketbook. Like, what? But he's recruiting people to go to his house. We're talking. I didn't bring this up, but Trent wanted to do it, and I think maybe Dave like heard these words. Trent said, let's try to find a Buffalo Wild Wings. And Dave legit, there's kind of a circle of people, and Dave's on one side, and I watch him. He like takes his phone out. He kind of like looks at his phone, and then he looks up, and he raises his hand like this. Like imagine if me and you were in a conversation, but somebody walked in the room, and I just went, oh, hey. I'll be right back. Yeah. Like a way to check out of the conversation. I put my hand up. You recognize me. You recognize that I got to go somewhere, and I am now leaving this circle. Dave puts his hand up, starts walking that way. There is nobody there. And I kid you not, the man teleported. I looked over and was like, did anybody see that hand? And by the time I looked back, he was 100 yards away. I was expecting like a Back to the Future, like the fire, like zoom. He was gone, just walking solo across an empty parking lot. I was like, I don't even think he has a car
just
here.
Into the woods?
I honestly think he just walked into the woods. I think he just like hid behind a tree. And then I think he drove to Montauk 2 hours away to do pizza reviews and then drove back. It's just watching him operate is just fucking, I'll never forget that. Oh yeah, I'll be right there.
It's a great move.
Great move.
Yeah.
Because everyone kind of was like, oh, there must have been somebody. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, nobody thought that he really did that. I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure he just faked out everybody. But it was just, you know, he always says, like, you know, I'm going to leave because, like, nobody can have fun when the boss is around. Oh, yeah, that's why you're doing it. You're doing it for everyone else. That's why you're leaving, Dave. Okay, yeah, sure thing. And last couple things, Frankie Borelli's dad. You know, one of the most awkward things, I think we've reached the point of, like you said, when you're stuck in between, like the Barstool world.
Yeah.
I think society is stuck in between the wedding entrance of do me and the bridesmaid do like a choreographed dance, or do we just walk out? You know, you don't want to be lame and do nothing.
Yeah.
But gone are the days of like, you hike me your flowers and I throw it to you.
Right.
And so people, you know, you're trying to figure something out, what hasn't been done yet, what's fun but also not over the top. Frankie Borelli's dad came out with the rubber pizzas that they used to practice and starts doing the pizza throws, which I thought was
sick.
Cool. He's spinning around as he does them and catching them with one hand, and so that was a great moment. He got picked up and carried like a statue of Jesus. He looked like Christ the Redeemer. He just had like they weren't throwing him. We were just carrying him. It was just like moving him around. But that family is fucking great. They were, by the end, it was all, you know, ripped off shirts, and they did the shout second to last, Mr. Brightside last, which we had talked about. I think there's kind of like a growing thing.
Yeah.
I still think I would flip him.
You think Shout I like Shout. I like it even a little earlier.
I think Shout is still, because what happened was we did Shout, and they said, we got one more for you. It's by request. And you heard the like, and everyone knew it, and they erupted. Then the crowd did one more song. And then they did Sweet Caroline. And it was kind of like, we went like down in levels of excitement, you know? I still
But
think
that's almost
Shout,
all right. I'm all right with it. You know, like I don't like ending on the highest high.
Well, yeah, I guess there's some logic to that, because then they were like, head out to the patio where like the party's going to keep going. Like the room is closed, but they had Borelli's pizzas out there, and like everyone's going to have cocktails. So I guess maybe it's a way to ease off. But I still think Shout has the finality of it, where it's like you're going to leave it all on the table.
Yeah,
leave it all on the field. You can sweat, you can rip your pants, it's over. But I've heard about that, but I haven't been to a wedding yet where Mr. Brightside was the closer. And that's crazy to make like a new classic to get into that level, and that's pretty cool for them. But yeah, all in all, Frankie, the Borelli wedding was A+ stuff. It's just funny how much it is at Barstool. It's like, a little bit of a reality TV show wedding. It's like the royal wedding in our world. So 2 engagements and a wedding. Everybody's getting old, John.
Everyone's getting old.
Game Time, created by fans for fans. It's the exclusive ticketing partner for Barstool Sports. It's the app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. You got the second half of the MLB season coming up. You got a lot of concerts to go to. Football season's around the corner. And, of course, your favorite podcasts and comedy shows, favorite stand-up comedians, all of anything that's on stage. Game Time has the best tickets available on the secondary market with up to the millisecond timing, so you know that you're getting the best price possible. You can wait for ticket prices to drop if you want, right before first pitch or right before the concert starts. The tickets are, people who just want to get any money they can for their tickets that they're selling. They drop the price, you scoop it up at an unimaginably low amount of money. Or you can get it right away if it's a hot ticket and you want to make sure you're in the building. You might have to pay a little bit of a premium, but you can find the best seats in the house and make sure that you get in the building for whatever live entertainment you want to get to. It's all possible through the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops found, and the seats that you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 seconds, 2 taps, and 10 seconds. Once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to share tickets easily via friends, via text, so you don't have to download another app or do a QR code. It's just, here's the ticket, text messages it over. It's all seamless. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Team terms apply. Download the Game Time app or go to gametime.co, enter your email, redeem code KFC for $20 with your first purchase. Somehow you're still playing ice hockey. I'm surprised you're fucking alive. I was like, someone's gonna blow out a knee or a shoulder. Or
I was pretty all right. I have my toe. I actually don't know if I said on the show when I went to a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And he's like a sports science, sports medicine as well. And I've had that hip that you told me was
A hernia.
a hernia for a while, and he did like 2 things, and he's just like, "You have a torn hip." he was like, "How long has this been happening?" I was like, "Probably like 3-4 months." He's like, "Yeah, it's
100%.
I don't know what to tell you. It's your labrum's torn in your hip." And I was like, all right, let's say hypothetically I'm playing hockey next week. What do you suggest? He's like, I suggest you do a hell of a warm up, because he was like,
you don't play hockey.
he was like, it's like 99% of the time you don't get surgery on this kind of thing. So he gave me like some PT stuff for it. But yeah, I played with a torn hip.
I will say you're annoyingly in shape. You're in great shape. You look trim.
Thanks. That's
Yeah.
nice.
It's not just me. Somebody else, when you made your video about all your travel troubles, I reposted it on my Instagram, and I got more than a few of people being like, "Is he working out? Like he's in shape." I was like, "Fuck you guys." But I feel like you're
Well,
as trim as you ever been.
that I'm jumping a lot of rope. Laughing out loud on the point. That looking trim kind of ties into really what is the highlight, and by highlight I mean low light of the trip for me. What age do I look?
Oh,
Like
boy.
what age? What I want everyone to think about this. While
Jackie's face. She's
like not look.
I don't know how to answer this question.
What age am I passing as?
Like the lowest you could go.
Lowest I could go. So, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm telling you this. So, unbelievable event Minnesota Wild put on called Crazy Game of Hockey. OAR, Corey Wong. It was great. It was awesome. It was really, really fun. It's like it was the
I don't
first.
think I knew that was the title. That's cool. Crazy Game of Hockey.
Yeah,
That's cool.
this was the first year of it. I don't know any other franchise that does anything like it. I think it's gonna be way bigger next year. Like it's gonna like next year. I've heard the plans for it already. It's going to
What
be
is it, like hockey and music?
like Friday night. There's like a VIP event where there's comedy and like dinner and it basically is like Red Sox. If you're from Boston listening, it's like Fan Fest, or Winter Weekend that they do, where like all the players are there, shit like that. And I forgot my fucking thing. But all right, there's a bunch. So at the Fan Fest, everyone who's playing had cards.
They're celebrities,
Like
mostly, right? Like
it's a good mix of former players, current players, celebrities, and like
and one podcast.
yeah, 2. She was there.
Okay.
And we walk in, me and Chief, and they hand us our deck of cards to autograph and give out to people. Bro, they're this big. They gave me 500 of them.
Yeah, it was a thick stack.
I sent Kevin the pictures, so I'll send pictures of this. They gave me so many cards. I have every single card still. I have every single card.
They gave you cards to autograph and give out.
Like people would come up to you and be like,
That
'cause
should be
there's,
like you give them cards and they come to you and say, "Can you sign this?"
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, let me sign this, and here you go.
Here you
Like,
go.
I'm
Here
gonna
you go,
hand
kids.
this out to you guys. You
It's
losers.
like little kids running around in jerseys.
Yeah.
Again, like the team is there. They're there for the team.
Right.
I was talking to Mark on the flight back where it's like the event is about the players. Like it's about watching the players interact with celebrities or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's like seeing them kind of out of their element and like it's fun. It's a
Yes.
good time instead of just seeing them like giving their reporting and all that.
Yeah.
And like you need the celebrities there to make it fun.
Yep.
But like everyone there is there to see the players.
Yeah.
It's not really
It's hockey. It's
to
their
see
thing,
the podcast or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. But anyway, so there's that thing Friday night. Saturday afternoon is the game. Sunday night, big concert. OAR, Corey Wong, Neon Trees came. Started with a whisper. It was crazy. It was jammed out. I was at the Armory in Minneapolis.
That's the Apple commercial, right?
I think that's one, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it's at the Armory, which we were in the Lakers suite, like all the players who played like got a suite. And we're in the Lakers suite, and I was like, why is it fucking purple and gold here? That's weird. And it hit me that's where the Los Angeles Lakers used to play with the Minnesota Lakers.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And it was great. And then the last song, they have all the players come on stage, and we were singing. Mark actually put his arm around me and put the mic in my mouth.
nightmare.
Bro.
What song?
I actually did. I think it's called Black Sheep.
Is it one of their songs?
No. It's
That is my nightmare when that happens.
It was hang on, where is it here?
I can't even.
The Black Crows. Hard to Handle by the Black Crows. Now you know the song.
Okay.
Like it's "Hey, little mama."
Oh, yeah.
And but like when I was like,
That's hard. When I sing that
no
song,
one,
I
no
always
one
go,
knows
"Hey,
those
little
words.
mama,
Yeah.
because
Mama saw the Handyman, and that's just what I did.
Yeah.
And then I
You go humma like that.
because my mom saw the Handyman. I think when I sing, I say the Handyman Candyman. I don't know.
Hey, little mama, hey, little. I don't
Because
even
Mama,
know.
I'm sure hard to handle now gets around. What the fuck? Yeah, this.
The lyrics, because I looked at my dad asked me what song it was, and I looked up the lyric. I looked up the song, and I was like, this isn't the song, and it just is. It's the song. But no one knows the lyrics. And when I brought it up with Mark, I was like, dude, I don't know. I didn't know any of those words. Like, no one does. That's why we sing that song with you people.
that is great.
But we get off stage.
Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now, gets around.
No one, you would not think that's what the words are.
Light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now, gets around. That doesn't even make any sense.
But
what is that gets around?
I don't know.
End. I think
But so we,
it's funny that songs are just gibberish.
yeah.
I remember, I think it was I Want It That Way. The Backstreet Boys were like, we have no idea what that song's about. If you really think about it, what do they want?
Some pedophile wrote it, gave it to us.
It's all about like, it's like a sad relationship, right? And then he says, I want it that way. You are my fire, my one desire.
No, those are good things.
But I think the lyrics are like, they're bad, and then it's like, hang on. It's very. I remember listening to it just recently, being like, yeah, I want it that way, but we're two worlds apart. So I guess it's like I want to be with you.
Yeah.
But the song is all about like how we're not. It's just, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so you're singing Black Rose.
So, and then like we all kind of get off. It's the last song of the night. Everyone's kind of hanging out, so you're taking pictures and stuff like that. And we get off stage, and Matt Boldy, who, if you follow hockey, just a stud, absolute stud, is he's like we're talking with him, and like he's 21, and like in hockey you don't get like a big deal at 21. 21 just sounds like a $60 million deal. Like he's and a great kid. I didn't interact with him a ton, but Minnesota, you got a good one. Seems like a really nice kid.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of talking, and he's like, "We boys getting into tonight," and we're like, I don't know, probably like head to a bar, grab a drink.
And you know that Fights and Chief both put on the hockey talk. I don't know, boys. We're probably gonna hit a couple,
go wheel a couple broads,
hit my wrench before I go to bed tonight,
And we're like, I don't know, you just like grab a beer or two, something like that. And he's like, "Oh, you guys gotta come out." We're like, where are you gonna go? He's like, "We're going to Cowboy Jack's." And
that's where we did the
yeah. I was like, "Oh, I know it well." Like we did series there for a while. He's like, "You guys gotta come. You guys should come." We're like, "Yeah, we'll fucking come." He's like, "Yeah, definitely. Probably be a bunch of guys my age, but you'll have fun too." And it was like a cannonball to the gut. I was like, "Oh my god!"
But you'll have fun too.
He's like, "Yeah, probably be mostly guys my age, but you'll have a good time." I was like, "What?" Dude?
Okay, so this is where your question
In
comes
my
from.
head, I'm
You're not passing
and
21.
No,
buddy.
not 21. But like and I'm not saying this like I think I wish I looked better. Like I think I have like a childish appearance. I would have said I was 26 passing.
No, you're too old for 26.
Really?
Yes, 26 is a baby.
I guess you're 28.
28. 28 is a reasonable thing. But it really is funny because you fluctuate, like 53. But also, like 20, 27.
Yeah, yeah.
And now those are a couple years apart, but like for the most part it's just about how you clean up. But 26, you know what? Maybe I'm thinking to myself, like I could never pass for 26, but you're a few years younger than me, so maybe you could do 26. No.
If you were to tell me 26, I wouldn't be like, that's not a 26-year-old man. Like I would buy it. But I would guess for you 20.
There, I'm probably like 24.
Oh, he's a baby there, yeah. But that is like you're almost 26 there. And that was a lifetime ago, bro.
Yeah, it was a lifetime ago, dude.
Like maybe multiple lifetimes ago.
But
you know what it is weird with guys? Like like if a girl says like, "Hi, I'm 26," and she's not, you could be like, "That bitch is not 26." But guys are kind of like I also know guys who are my age. It's all about your lifestyle, you know? Like if I were to like wear khaki shorts with a polo and tuck it in and put on a golf hat and wear loafers, people would be like, "You're fucking 40." Right. But I'm at the live show and somebody was like, "Oh, I thought you were 29." I'm like, "Oh." But it's just because I dress like an asshole and talk like an asshole. And like, you know, I don't live that life. But if you do, so for guys, like if you were to be out with a bunch of young guys, like they wouldn't, I think what he said would not, they wouldn't be like, "Oh, check it out, it's all like these young hockey players," and then like their chaperone. Yeah. I think they'd be like, "That's one of the boys." Yeah. Who, you know. It's actually really, I think it comes down to hair. I think if you got hair, you can pass for younger. It's and hair don't lie. You know what I mean? If you're balding, people are like, "That guy's old." If you're not, it's like it could range from, you know, whatever to whatever. But if you got hair, I think particularly in the front, like if you have a strong hairline in the front, you can pass for younger.
It was
26 might be a little.
The first time,
I think you're gassing him up a little bit too much. Jack.
The first time I've ever been like, "Oh my
yeah, that hurts."
But then Chief and I were like, "We're fucking going," and we didn't go together. So Chief and I walked there. It's probably like a half mile from the Armory, the venue is. So we walk, get a little fresh air, get a little relax for a
recover.
We just sang a chorus on stage. We're pretty tired, and we're like, "We'll meet you there." And so we walk there, and we get there, and it's the biggest line I've ever seen. First of all, they're still flying the Barstool flag out front. So like off the front is the Barstool flag, and the line is almost a 3-hour line. Yeah, and I was like, "That's a line for 21-year-olds." And then we were like, we're just going back to the hotel. And we went back to the hotel, but we walked by the line to get back to the hotel. And I was like, everyone in that line is 12 years old. Like, everyone in that line is a child.
21 and 22, like the young is like, you look like babies.
Like it was crazy.
Who's a guy who's 26 right now in the office? Like who is that age?
Jake Bass is 27, I think.
Jake Bass looks 60.
I was gonna say Jake Bass looks. Yeah, that's not.
that goes to.
I think
John Rich looks 50.
Yeah, you do have a little. You know what it is? Blonde helps. Like blonde looks younger. So when you're having your blonder hair.
John Rich is also from the Midwest. Jake Bass doesn't have hair.
Yeah, Jake Bass looks like a fucking Heisenberg. You know what I mean? It's scary.
Greer looks 100. Greer grew up in the woods in Canada. Who's somewhere from a city?
I need a northeastern person. Well, what's the difference between him and what can I pass for?
I don't want to play this game.
I mean, I could not even care less, so whatever. If John can pass for 26, what do I pass for?
30.
You bitch.
No.
You dumb fucking bitch. You inconsiderate
but I said
asshole.
I said 28 for him first, but then I said if he were to tell me he's 26, it's hard right now because he's sitting like a 56-year-old lady. So it's like, I don't know, like, really, 56-year-old ladies. No.
That's always Feidelberg's jam. Like all old men eventually cross their legs. John crossed his legs at like 19.
I started. Dave used to make fun of me when I was like 21. Why are you sitting like that?
It is weird. I still don't know how you do it. I do not know where you put your dick and balls when you do this. Underneath?
Oh, it's all fucking.
Your dick is tucked.
Buffalo Bill, baby.
No.
My dick is on this couch right now.
No.
Yes.
I think the only way
I get home after a long session, my dick's purple, no blood flow. when all my pee breaks are just to get fucking blood back in my dick.
I think the only way I can do this is I go up and down. I think the balls, right?
No.
I mean, you definitely can't go all up because then you have. Did you see the latest clip from Stavi's World? Stavi's ball bag is just. No. And they put the captions over it, I think, to try to salvage it. It's magnificent. It's majestic. Everything about Stavi is kind of but wow, it's like it is just a bag. It is very funny.
Just a big set of Greek nuts.
I don't know how you've done it. You've always sat like that. I always, you know what was bad? I always did the figure 4, but it like hurts now. I'm like so old I can't even sit like that. Like my knee gets like, you know what I mean? It's like
torn labrum in it probably.
Probably. So I can't even pass for 20s anymore.
I can see 29. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yes.
How old do you think I could pass for? You're young.
I was gonna say 20 and 29.
Oh, you kiss up.
That's the right answer. That's a girl who, you know, she sees what's really going on.
She knows who controls the AC here. But our other night.
Yeah, this is the goods right here. This is a monster. This is gonna be a 4-hour episode.
So we go to the VIP thing. We're walking home. She's like, we should open a bar in Minneapolis because there are like 4 bars. That's why the lines are so goddamn long getting into all. We were walking home. We couldn't find another bar. Yeah. It was scary being in Minneapolis because there's so few people that it's like what they say, like when you live in the suburbs where every sound is really loud kind of deal. Mm-hmm. So it was similar to that where like you'd hear like a drunk person and you get like scared. Whereas like New York, like, everyone's shit-faced. Because like everyone's loud and boisterous and shit-faced. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'd hear like pitter-pattering, like someone running, like a drunk person running through like a sidewalk or an alley. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like, it was very scary.
Yeah, it's almost like like The Quiet is actually the scariest thing in scary movies.
Yeah, right.
And then you hear like
yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
As we were walking home and he's like, we should go to a bar, and we couldn't find one because the only other bar available was the bar we went to the night prior, which was
oh, that was at a bar?
Yeah. So we looked up, by we I mean I was like, what's a bar right here? Name of the bar, Gay 90s.
Gay 90s.
Gay 90s.
Right up.
Yeah.
Right up your alley, my alley.
So you want to hit Gay 90s? He's like, yeah.
I will fucking Gay 90s my dick off.
So Chief kept calling it Big Gay 90s, which for some reason I thought was
like Big Gay 90s. Big Gay 90s. BGN.
And we get there. Gotta pat you down. Heavy security at Big Gay 90s. Like I don't know if it stems from like Orlando kind of deal, like bulletproof vests and all kinds of stuff.
No way.
Yeah, and pay cover, get in the door, right away. Like, you want to go to the extra door?
The what?
Like extra door. Like, do you want the extra show?
Hell yeah.
And we were like, yeah. Like, it's $7 more per person. We're in. Chief Venmos him. And
that's wacky though.
They're like
the cover Venmo?
The cover I paid cash, but I think you could have Venmo'd.
Cool.
And then get in, Chief. I had the money on me. Pay, get in. Chief Venmo's the rest. And they're like, before we even get, it's like behind the curtain. Like, before we even let you behind the curtain, we'll let you know there are 3 rules. Number 1 is consent. Always thumbs up or thumbs down. That's it. Just give it to them.
Wait, just back up real quick. When you first walk in, it's a bar?
This room is like before the bar.
But but what you guys were walking into, did you expect like a bar with stools and like high top tables and then a couple lounge?
I expected it to be more loungy. Yeah.
Okay.
And so you walk in, bars that way.
So you couldn't even go. You had to make a choice to either go regular or hardcore right away. Mm-hmm. You couldn't go through the regular to get to the hardcore.
No.
Got it.
And it's
who turns it down?
You're right. I can't imagine.
Like, hey, you want to be a pussy or you want to be cool? Like,
when I left, I walked through the regular bar, and that was pretty empty. This place was jamming. I don't think many people hit the regular bar. And it's this woman, larger girl, Midwestern lady, tits out. Like, she had like a
nips, like naked, or
she had like a mesh shirt over it, but it was tits out. And she's like, do you want the extra show? I'm like, yes, we want the extra show. She goes, we have 3 rules. Consent. Someone comes up to you, starts touching you, whatever, just thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm like, good rule. She's like, no phones. It's like, we're going to take them from you, keep them, but like, if you see it in your hand, like, you're getting kicked out. Yeah. Okay. And 3rd rule is have fun. All right, that sounds good. Okay. Very like happy and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Walk in the thing, right away, just a cage full of people, and then there's a sign which says Pleasure Alley, and it's just like couches like at a club, and it's just dudes sitting there eating pussy, like the like the girls are riding their face.
Are they on a stage?
No, it's just you just walk into a room and everyone's happy. It was an orgy. Like it's just
On the floor, they're eating pussy.
He's on like a couch, like one of those like club couches where it's like kind of a bench with like fucking.
And then she's like
felt
up here.
on. She's up here. She's holding the
Got
shoulders.
it.
There were like 3 separate people this is happening to.
Wait, are you saying literally? Or
Like I think they had underwear on, but like when they would ride back, you'd see his tongue out, and they got naked as the night went on too.
Oh.
And not that I was there a ton, but
Not that I stayed there until the sun came up.
but
Not that I'm now a VIP customer, part owner.
So we go to the bar, and there's a main stage, and there's this woman. And by the way, everyone, it's like being at a football game, where everyone's in jerseys, but they're not jerseys. They're it's called a BDSM show, BDSM live show. Everyone's in BDSM gear. I'm in a crocheted knit polo tucked in. Chief is in a button down. I don't think it was tucked in. Kind of like a Tommy Bahama type button down.
Mm-hmm.
We could not look more like cops.
Yeah,
Like-
Narc City, bro.
Bro, I'm saying everyone else, like 100%, maybe 99%,
Leather.
is in leather, latex, like
Straps,
like
like-
full non-latex with like the gas masks, like it was.
None latex with
Full-
the gas mask.
Yo.
That's beyond. That's like horror movie
Yeah.
shit. Forget about weird sex stuff. We're now entering my nightmare.
It was intense. It was very, very intense. And then there is also a stage where they're introducing people, and they kind of come on stage. They do like a twirl, almost like a pageant, and then they come out down the row, and then they go and get back in line. And I think they're just introducing who the acts are going to be that night.
Yeah.
And then we kind of catch the tail end of that. And the woman who's introducing everyone is hot. She's
Ain't
hot.
it always the way? It's not like the
She's hot
performers.
to
It's always
trot.
like the maitre d' or whoever. It's
Yeah.
like, can you get naked?
Yeah.
'Cause that girl's ugly.
She was very latexed up, but she
Yeah.
was in clothing. Everyone else is very Midwestern.
And
Am
all
I-
these people are like, don't you know, sort of thing. Like,
we
right
didn't
this way,
have
don't
many
you know?
conversations, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I would imagine so.
Right.
They're all in my whole time in Minnesota. I saw like 4 vegetables, and everyone looked the part. Like at one dinner, there were no vegetables on my dish, so I was like, "Can I get a side of vegetables?" And they were like, "Sure." It was maple-soaked Brussels sprouts. It was just on the menu as seasonal vegetables. Maple-soaked Brussels sprouts. and
That's great.
And everyone looks the part. Like everyone's got,
yeah.
everyone looks the part. And they start put on this show where it is like, it was basically open mic night for sex workers, where like these people aren't pros. They're just in it for love of the game. Like they are like get your dollar bills ready, and someone will dance, and like maybe $2 on stage. Like, it was.
That breaks my heart.
It was not a lot of money was exchanging hands.
I'm so happy I'm not there. I would have just been giving them like hundreds of
I had no
dollars.
more cash. I
would've
used my
just-
cash to
yeah,
get in.
I would have like taken them home with me. I'd be like, I'll just adopt you. I'm sorry.
There was one woman who was. I'm gonna say they. I'm just gonna guess that they're they them, and because they were 8 feet tall, Kevin.
Oh my.
Limber as all hell, but like they were like
Huge.
kicking their legs up, and it was fucking like knocking lights out of the ceiling. And they take off their top, and I'm like, I'm fucking still not sure what's going on here.
Yep.
And then they're doing splits on stage and doing like hump in the stage kind of deal in a thong, and just a curious cat. I was like, I'll be right back, and I went to go get a closer look just to see like. I just wanted to see what I was watching. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to know.
I mean, like, is there a dick there or not?
Yeah.
What am I looking at here?
I was like, they're in a split position. This is a good time. I'm gonna see a ball. It's gonna be right now. Either this or on Stavvy's Instagram page. And I start walking forward, and I look to see if Chief's coming with me. And I see the back of his head. He's fucking split. And I was like, we're one song in. I can't leave yet.
So now you're just solo?
So now I'm solo, but there are like a bunch of lounge chairs
He didn't
around
even
the
say
stage.
goodbye?
He just split. Text
message, anything?
Nothing. I texted him after. I was like, LMAO, did you leave? And he goes, yeah, someone cut in front of me who I didn't really want to bump into, and I just took that as a sign and turned around. And but so now I'm in the like. There's only one walkway to the stage. And I'm just trying to see some dick or whatever, and and I'm just like I'm in that like literally no man's land. There's like a ton of people like in the standing room, and they were like kind of like lounge chairs like you'd see in a jazz club, all set up in front of the stage. And as I was walking up, I was like, no one's sitting in the front. Like I'll just go sit up there, like. And
this man upgraded his seats at the gay Midwest sex club.
And so
wow,
I get there and I still honestly as I say here I don't know
what they were.
Yeah, and but I look back and I see Chief's gone, so like my spot has been filled in, like any standing room immediately filled in. And I look at the chairs and they say reserved, and so now I was just stuck, and I was just kind of standing there like. I don't know where to go here.
And there's a stage in front of you?
There's a stage in front of me where they're dancing their ass off.
Right.
And I'm just still stuck. They get off, they leave, and I'm frozen in panic. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to make like a big thing because like there's a show going on. The next woman's already started.
Yeah.
The next woman started.
Oh, God.
This woman was huge. She was huge. She was. If you told me she didn't make it through the weekend, I'd believe you. And I mean, just
how big? Give me like a guy size.
Doug's. Doug's at Frank's height. It was. She's a big lady. She's a big lady.
And she's dancing.
She's doing her best. And
she's moving while music is on.
The other, and like they did her no favors in like the lineup. Like the first woman was limber as hell, skinny. Like she moved like a dancer. They moved like a dancer.
The next guy's dick was huge.
And so I'm still standing here while I'm just watching this guy eat a pussy. There's a cage with a woman's in that she's riding face. There's another cage right next to that cage that a dude is in BDSM, like the nipple gear, just doing pull-ups. Just fucking getting a quick set in, dude. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And so I just stand there for the performance. I'm just kind of standing there.
Stand. You don't sit.
I said reserved on him. I should have sat until someone came because no one came. But I was just standing there like a deer in headlights. Like,
kidding.
So I'm this far from this woman.
Get the fuck out.
And she's not mic'd up or anything, so no one else can hear. But it's like someone's chewing with their mouth open right in my ear. You know what I mean? Like I'm just hearing like flaps and like just stuff that's not privy to everybody. And she starts stripping, and they pulled the couch out for her. So it's a strip show that's happening like on a couch. like again, and we're here.
Like she's like sitting and
like
she's like
sitting,
doing like things with her legs.
Yeah.
Okay, because she can't even stand up.
Right.
Holy
and the other person stripped.
I am
right
picturing Ursula from The Little Mermaid, just like a fat.
She was in. It
octopus.
wasn't quite purple, but it was like a dark blue.
Oh my god.
Thong and like a latex corset, and so she's like starting to strip, and I don't know if I've ever been as sad as I was for this, because like she's in high heel latex boots, like those big like tie ups all the way,
Yeah.
and she's like sexy doing her thing, and the crowd's going crazy to the point where it's like
You're mocking. You're
it's
patronizing.
come on
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
like
yeah,
do you give it
yeah.
like. The
But
fucking hot dude up here just didn't get anything.
I know what you mean,
And-
but she's probably like, "Let's go, baby."
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, like,
but right, like it's probably me thinking it, and
yeah.
she's probably like
she knows it
feeling
on
great.
some level, but it's like, who cares why it's happening? You know,
It was a lot. It was like, woo, go girl!
money
crazy.
being thrown or no?
One guy walked up and like put down some cash.
Okay.
He was in a mesh shirt and boy shorts and like 8 feet tall. They're big in Minnesota, and but she starts untying her shoes and she's doing great.
Oh,
and
God.
And then you ever get like you're really hungover or just fat, and you don't really untie your shoes. You kind of just fucking paw at the knot until it comes undone. You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of on the kind. Jackie does not know what I mean, but you kind of just like. So like a cat with a ball of yarn, she's just whacking at the knot, like she can't get her shoes off. And I'm like, oh, do I go and tie them for her? Because like, again, the people can't hear going.
Yeah.
And she gets like one off, and like, you know, when you do the put, like, I feel like I honestly love this woman. She's great, but I mean, like, it was fucking funny, man. Like,
she was taking them off as part of her show, or
because she had to strip, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta get your shoes off before you can strip.
You could leave the heels on, no?
You could have.
Should have.
Probably on the night too. The shoes got left on.
Yeah.
And then she gets them off, and
because then you gotta unlace. So she's like, ah.
Oh yeah, but by the way, we're 4 songs in at this point, and she gets the latex off, and then she just starts licking the boots, and she's sucking the fucking stiletto.
Yeah.
And place is going nuts, man, the whole time. Like, I'm the only one who can hear the effort that's going in. Everyone else is like, whoa!
Yeah.
And she's, 4 more songs later, she's worked her way up to the titties, which.
Enormous.
With a person of this stature is that's the big reveal. That's what we're all here for, you know? That's
big old bitties.
Yeah. And she's
dinner
got the
plate
corset.
nipples.
Huh?
Dinner plate nipples. Yeah.
And she's got the corset, and she's like doing the big tease and this and that. And she's turning back, and we're all waiting with bated breath.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's about to fucking pop out. And then I'm like, this is our big moment, and it slips out of her hand, and just one titty drops. And like lands in her lap, man. Like it was awesome. It was the best sex show I've ever been to. It was incredible, dude. But
I said to him, on a scale of 1 to Amsterdam, where is it? He goes, oh, it was a -5. That's why it was the best.
And then I said, Chief and I looked like cops. There was one other guy there who was just in like a Hurley t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
Just looked like Stu. I thought it was Stu. Like just short, stocky, older dude.
Yeah. Just
holding hands. Again, he was in like khaki shorts, Hurley t-shirt, fucking Osiris shoes, and just holding hands with this fucking woman who towered over him. And she was in like a pink, like latex corset with like the pony mask on. You know what I mean? And they were just holding hands. And I was like, I think that marriage is in couples counseling. And they were like, well, maybe if you tried what she likes, it would go, things could help. And that guy got he's like,
here we go.
Fine, but I'm not putting on a fucking costume. It was awesome. Gay 90s. I think they call it Kinky Fridays.
We're going there in November.
Yeah, are we there on Friday night?
There. I think we are.
If we're there on Friday night, we're going to Kinky Friday, so everyone get ready.
Kinky Friday. now, if you go back, will you dress the part, or will you go wearing regular?
We are going there on Friday night.
Our show's on Friday, and then so like that. This was after the VIP event, so like this is probably 10:30. So our show will be over in Minneapolis by 10:30, so we can all go to Kinky Friday afterwards. That big gay 90s. It was, and yes, I will dress the part for this, obviously.
I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, that's fine. What if I was like, no, you're going?
Free will, you're allowed to choose at this point.
But again, like all these things, like it was, Chief was funny because he kept being like, you could tell there was a bit of a disconnect, I think.
Between you and him?
Yeah.
Like you're a pervert and like down for weird shit. He was kind of like, no fucking thanks.
Like when people were dancing on stage, because earlier in the night we had been talking about like the podcast and stuff like that, and I somehow like being left alone at 4. Oh, he was watching his nephews and nieces, and they were 9, and I was like, they're good. What are you talking about? You're watching your nephews and nieces, and he was like, while they're like parading on stage, like, there's a bunch of people who got left home alone when they were 4. And I was like, it's not just the people on stage, it's everyone here. Don't say it like that. It's this person right here and that person right there. These people who are not on stage just don't have the courage yet. Next week they'll be on stage. They're just dipping their toe in the water.
Yeah, listen. I mean, we talked a little bit about it with Segura last week.
Also, you just told the story 2 weeks ago.
You
were left home alone.
No, I know.
Yeah,
That's why he was saying it, because I had said that.
But we, even just talking to Tom, where it's like we're kind of like institutionalized at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we just we've crossed over into this other world, and the people who perform and shit go like all the way. But it's just like normal versus not normal,
Right.
And I feel like
if they had tried to
Chief
put me on
is
stage, I would have performed in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Holy-
Because it was
I mean-
so welcome, like they say about all these things. It was
Yeah.
because everyone is the fucking child left behind.
Would you have just
Some-
thumped your dick against the stage?
Oh, I just stripped.
And we talked about this last week. What would you have done? You worked the pole?
No, I would have thrown all the cash at everybody, but there wasn't any cash
Yeah.
to throw.
Just throwing nickels at the crowd.
like the dude.
It's just funny, like the thought of like Chief was like looking for like a pint at a pub,
Yeah.
and you're online for probably being like, oh man, I hope they don't go ass to mouth with my stiletto again. Like, he probably has no experience with that, and you're like, man, I wish Kevin Connolly was here to catch a flying dildo. I don't know. That's special. That's an all timer.
It was awesome.
That's an
It
all
was crazy.
timer right there.
It was, we're definitely going. I put that on the list. Like
Big Gay 90s.
Friday night. What day's the show?
It's November 17th.
Friday, November 17th. We come to KSC Radio.
When's our show? Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
So we'll do KSC Radio live Friday, November 17th at Minneapolis, and then we will all as a group go to Big Gay 90s.
That is
That would be the
that is
funniest.
honestly the greatest plan ever.
Yeah.
How big is our show? Can that place accommodate like a
No.
few hundred people?
No, you got to get there fast.
Okay, so faster than
As soon as
first
the
come,
show
first
ends,
serve.
get to Gay 90s because it is.
We're gonna have. Could you imagine, like let's say I don't know, the first like 50 get in, and then there's like 350 people like outside of Big Gay 90s, like fuck, wearing latex and shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of your tickets, tomorrow night, tonight what's today?
This will be aired on Wednesday.
So tonight we have Dollar Slices, which is sold out. I think there's maybe like one ticket or something like that left. I don't know.
I don't know. It's
No,
sold out.
sold out? Okay.
It's sold out.
And then tomorrow night, Thursday night, Jersey City, we're coming. Jersey's been asking us to come, so come out, show out. There's still tickets available for the White Eagle Hall in Jersey City. KFC Radio live on stage. Even if you've come to our shows in Carolines and in New York and the local area, I feel like there's probably a bunch of people who have come to see us a few years ago, and now they're like, I've seen KFC Radio live. I need to do it. It's an entirely different experience, I promise you that. The show has gotten so much better, and so even if you've seen us live before and it was a few years ago, come back out again. We're going to, we'll put on a show for our hometown people here in New York and New Jersey. So that's Thursday night. Go to the KFC Radio social handles, or if you're on YouTube, you can click the link. Tickets are still available for the White Eagle Hall. Doors are at 7, nice and early on a Thursday, so you can get it in before you head off for the weekend to your summer house or whatever. So come see us. Dollar Slice is sold out, but I think we're putting together another show, which is going to be the new kind of like Barstool Comedy flagship stand-up roaming show, if you will. So we'll announce that, whenever that next one is, we'll keep you guys posted on that. But a lot of live show stuff with a lot of the different brands here at Barstool Comedy to come. But right now, get your tickets to KFC Radio Live at Jersey City, Thursday, 7 o'clock, White Eagle Hall. Be there. We're going to get loose. It's going to be a good time. Meet and greet afterwards. We'll take pictures and hang out. So come through and see us. Adam Devine. What? Let me preface this by saying the Adam Devine interview, I'm almost embarrassed by how much I laughed.
Yeah, he's a man.
Like, it was genuine laughter. But at one point I was like, I gotta tone it down. Like, I'm the host of the show. Like, it's probably gonna be annoying. He had me fucking dying.
Yeah.
Like, he was awesome. Devine is the man. So we'll get into our interview with that. First, we got to do some 1 Minute Man though. We gotta tackle some topics because there is
one thing real quick too before 1 Minute Man. I also got delayed. Whatever, it happens. I don't have a bunch about that. But I threw a flight attendant for a loop like I don't think they've ever seen before.
Ooh. I got some thoughts on that too, but okay, keep going.
Now we got like deplaned. We boarded and then deplaned, and the flight attendant was like reading us the dinner menu on the plane, and she she had one of the craziest requests that I've ever had, where she acknowledged it. She was like, read the dinner menu, said all the drinks, all that stuff, and then is like, and then I have one more request. It's unorthodox, but please don't take any pictures or videos of me. And I've never wanted to take a picture. Like,
if there's one way to make that not happen,
I wanted to take a picture and post it and be like, if this is your wife who ran away, here she is.
I want to send this to America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Is this DB Cooper? I don't know what's going on here.
But then so we're taxiing, we're all that stuff. When I get in my seat, I get pretty comfy pretty quick. I get my snacks set up, I get my mangoes, and I get my dark chocolate. By the way, I feel like I'm always on the forefront of a new up and coming candy. Sanders dark chocolate caramels with sea salt. Whoa, boy.
Yeah.
Anything
sea salt caramel, your boy is in.
It is delicious stuff. But so I got my sea salts, I got my mangoes, I got my headphones in, scrolling my movies. I find Jerry and Marge Go Large, which is a movie I hadn't even heard of. It stars Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening, and Rainn Wilson is in it. It's a true story about this couple in a rural town in Michigan who work up a scheme or some kind of scam to win the Massachusetts lottery, and then their plan is to take all that money and come back and save their small town.
Okay.
Again, true story. I don't know. I was excited to watch it. Looks fun. Looks good. Funny. I think it's got like an 80% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm in.
Yeah.
So, got my headphones in, got my candy, got my mangoes. I'm comfy. I hit play on the movie. I'm like a minute in. We got a deplane. She comes around. We're gonna deplane. I said, "That's okay. I'm all set. Thanks." She was like,
"I'm good. No, I'll stay on the plane."
She was like, "What?"
No, that's. I'm good. Thanks.
I was like, "Oh no, it's okay."
Sir, the building's on fire. Evacuate.
Dude,
I'm
she
good.
walks back to the phone. She goes, "In case there's any confusion, you have to get off the plane." I was like,
and then did you just get him to go?
I got up and left, but I was gassed up, man. I was ready for the movie.
I do know that feeling. I've told you this before. When we travel, my favorite part is the plane.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like cozy, and I'm just like, I got my spot, I got the movie.
Got my movie ready to go. I got my snacks ready.
Yeah. You totally, like, you blue balled me. Like,
yeah.
I'm fucked.
I still haven't seen that fucking movie. I want to watch that goddamn movie.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm good.
No, it's okay.
You should start doing shit like that, just in general. You know, like any circumstance where it just doesn't apply. No, I'm good. Thank you.
No.
You have to, sir.
Grabs the phone. You have to get off the plane. She had in case there's any confusion, you have to get off the plane.
I'll just wait for you guys to come back. That's good. Eventually you get on the plane, right?
Yeah, we're gonna leave eventually.
Dude, I'm telling you, got my tinfoil hat on. I would imagine, I think the only rational explanation has to be aliens, but something's going on with the airline industry.
I don't know what it is like.
I mean,
there was weather, right? There was bad weather.
Bro, I've seen flights to and from California, Canada, Minnesota. There was another set of like Florida, like every which way you can go to and from New York, all across the country. Everything. Is there just weather everywhere?
Well, now
I mean, like 7,600 flights were like canceled in a day or something like that.
That
Delayed,
was
2,000 flights canceled, and it's been going on for like a month.
But
right when the government told us that there are aircrafts from out of this world. I don't even know how it would connect, but something's going on. You don't just have every single flight delayed or canceled for like 3 weeks straight, and it just happens to be weather every time.
Now, if I could rebut with my being anti tinfoil hat guy, wouldn't you say about a month ago is when we started going, man, the weather this summer sucks?
Yeah, but every time I've heard weather, there hasn't been weather.
That's what I thought too, because I was talking to people back home and they're like, "Nah, it's beautiful." But then I saw like Cons posting from West Point that it's like legendary flooding. Like we have to fly through that.
Well, maybe that's from the aliens.
And there's also been a lot of smoke because I ended up getting very
That's another
lucky.
thing. We haven't seen any pictures of these wildfires, right? Somebody was saying that today.
I've never seen pictures yet. Sure.
You ever seen the pictures of the wildfire from recently? None of them. There's no fire.
I'm just checking.
I'm sure there are. But how would you even know? How would you even know? You just show me any trees burning. Oh, there's pictures.
There's some pretty big fires. Those are my favorite tweets. We haven't even seen pictures. You just Google Canadian wildfire. There's
Here they are.
There's some pretty big pictures of Canadian wildfires.
Bro, I saw a clip of Christopher Nolan talking about Oppenheimer, and he said the
Bro.
big fire.
It's like the country has a big ass fire.
I'm telling you, has there ever been more of a time to at least experiment with doming than now?
Yeah.
Like, at least try it, guys. In the amount of time, when we came up with doming all those years ago, by now you could have constructed and manufactured gigantic domes. We could have dropped it on these and saved a lot of headache.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan said, like, you know, the whole story is about the Manhattan Project and the atomic bomb, but it's he just recently learned, like, the singular story that he built it on is that there was a time when they first were testing it in New Mexico, like the first, like, atomic explosion. They were like 50-50, like, it's either going to work or we're going to light the entire atmosphere of the Earth on fire and everyone's going to die. And they still push the button. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy.
That's in the...
And I know it was part of, like, you know, it was like, well, if we don't do it and don't figure it out, then, like, they're going to figure it out and they'll use it against us. And, like, so there was kind of, like, no other choice. But if you're Oppenheimer or the lead scientist or whoever the fuck it is, and it's your call, and you're like, that's fucking
Just
crazy.
do it fast. It's no crazier than sending a risky text.
Yeah, somehow if you tap it lightly, it doesn't actually send, you know. Oh, did it work? Fucking bananas.
No,
No, I'm good. I'm going to send the plane. Spectacular, man. Spectacular.
Speaking of Barbie and Oppenheimer, Out of Order is out.
Greatest week of entertainment in American history.
Was it November 19th? What month
Barbie,
is it?
Oppenheimer, Out of Order.
July. It's July 19th.
Yeah.
It is. It's a big one.
Yeah.
There's
a doozy.
Pavs has seen them, or at least seen some of them.
Yeah, I've seen 75%, or I've edited 75% of it.
Where do you put it up against Winchester swastikas and?
I don't
like-
think that there's any that are shocking like that, but I think it's the best one by far. I think.
I
so.
think it's the best
I
one.
think this is
I
going to
think
be
it's
one
the
of those
best one.
shows where every week we go like, "This is the best one. This is the best one. This is the best one."
We rented a recording space, a studio for this one, and we have 3 sets, and we did them all in a day. And
Bro, it's
that was
so cool. It's like a real fucking like operation, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It
a
was.
set and the design. And
Yeah, none of these are all done on set, right?
Everything's on a set. This one.
Yeah,
sick.
there are, and I don't know if I've laughed harder than I did that day.
Really?
They are.
And the 2 things that came from it that I think that I couldn't stop laughing about the entire vacation weren't written, weren't planned. They just kind of happened, and I just haven't stopped laughing in my head about that.
I mean, that shit is so. The
I
bar, the bar is
think
very high to already.
in the again, I haven't seen them. Paz has seen them. If I'm judging by recording, this is by far our best episode.
Wow. Holy shit. I mean, that is crazy. That's why it's so nuts that you guys had so much chemistry right away, because these are not your best episodes. Your best episodes will come probably like season like 2 or 3 when you really hit your stride. So if this is you guys still technically figuring out the kinks and scheduling and like workflow and all that, so it's going to get like probably much better from here on out. That's pretty crazy.
I hope so.
Right? I mean, it's different than a regular show. It's not like a TV show, but usually it takes a couple seasons, a couple episodes to get going. So the fact that like you might just be like, these are the episodes you're going to look back on and be like, those were funny, but like now we're really funny. That's fucking crazy. So get ready for that. Out of Order.
That Wednesday, November 19th. Why did I say November? July 19th. And I think I'm doing the Oppenheimer Barbie double feature, by the way.
I am. I'm down to do that, by the way. I talked about doing the same thing. Barbie's throwing me for a loop. I thought Barbie first of all, could you imagine if all this Barbie fanfare was with Amy Schumer?
Yeah.
Like, it just would never have fit. All of the stuff I was down. Like, at first I was like, I just thought it was a stupid, like, Barbie movie. Then I hear that it's kind of, like, ironic and kind of like a commentary on things. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that can get pretty like clever and smart. But the stuff I've seen that they released from it, I think I'm going to fucking hate the movie.
I was very unsure. I was the same thing with the trailers I'd seen. I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna see it. Like, I've heard. I think I read like a quote from like an anonymous Hollywood hotshot. This is before it was ever made.
Yeah, they were like, it's gonna be like the best movie of all time.
I will
right?
bet my career.
Yeah,
on, I
that's what. When I read that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because at this point, I thought it was like almost like a kids movie. Like I don't know, it's the Barbie feature or whatever.
Did you see the Gosling thing then? I think Ryan Gosling's like the funniest person alive.
That Ken, when he sung that Ken song, I was like, I don't want any of this.
I actually haven't seen that yet.
But is the movie? Is it a musical?
I don't think so. I think there are.
Because he has like a musical number, and I was like, I don't want this at all.
I haven't seen that. I bet I'm gonna love it though. Yeah. But the clip of him talking about how like his job is beach, he is so god. Have you not seen this clip?
No, I don't think so.
And like maybe I could be skewed because I think Gosling is again like I want to stress. I think he is so fucking funny. The clip of him talking about like what Ken is.
This is like as himself, like in an interview.
No. This
he's in, yeah. Because that's what the song is. I'm just Ken, and it's like I'm not. It's always Barbie and Ken.
You
just that at the ready, bro.
Exactly. I pulled it up last night.
Not even broken. You'll be fine. Shredding waves is much more dangerous than people realize. You're very brave. Thank you, Barbie. Yeah. You know, surfer's not even my job. I know. And it is not lifeguard, which is a common misconception. Dude, come on. It's actually my job. It's just beach. Right. And what a good job you do at beach. You should heal up in no time. Actually, in the time that it took you to say that sentence, you healed. Fantastic. Yeah. Can I come to your house tonight? Sure. We have a big plan, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and playing choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by. So cool. Yeah.
So my thing is like if it's that for like 2 hours, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Where it's like I get it. We're like mocking this or whatever. So I just don't get how it. But I mean, when I saw that guy be like, I've read the script and it's like this is the best script I've ever read in my life. It's like this shit's gonna be crazy. I actually think Oppenheimer has in a weird way, like Oppenheimer has like obviously the most hype in the world, but because it's become this like Barbie versus Oppenheimer thing, like I haven't just thought about what the actual movie's about,
Yeah.
And like when I saw that clip of them talking about it, I was like, oh, like this movie's so up my alley. I'm gonna fucking love this, but I haven't been thinking about like the content of the movie because it's just been so much fanfare about the movie.
Right.
Tom Cruise with the IMAX versus Barbie and and it's like, oh, like no, it's just this is one of the greatest stories like ever in human history, and like they're telling it with the best actors and the best director.
No CGI.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, there's blowing shit up out in the desert. So I'm like, oh wait, this is there's like probably 3 people on the planet Earth who watched the show Manhattan. It was on WGN, which is like. Every now and then, like on my grandma's old TV, I would catch Cubs games on WGN because like the antenna would like pick up the fucking signal from Chicago somehow. But I don't know what channel that was on. But it's the only guy I can really the dad from Pitch Perfect is Oppenheimer. I don't know if anybody remembers that reference, but it was like 2 seasons of it. It was awesome. It was just all about like the Manhattan Project and racing to get the atomic bomb, and it was like some of the best shit I've ever seen. So that the story itself is like fucking unbelievable, but I think it's almost people are like forgetting that it's just like Christopher Nolan's making a big movie. It's like but the movie, like the subject is fucking incredible. So you're gonna go, what are you gonna do first, Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I think it's Barbie then Oppenheimer. I think Barbie right into Oppenheimer. I think
they should like sell that.
I think they said over 20,000 people have already done it.
Mm-hmm. Like they should, like if you're a movie theater, you should like be like there's a 7 and a 9 and a 9 and a like like a couple theaters should like do them exactly like that, so you could do it,
But watch Out of Order first.
Out of Order, Barbie, Oppenheimer. That's the move. Okay, there's a ton of shit that we missed. I felt like this was our longest break, and I missed you, John.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I missed you too, Kevin.
I missed you too. I missed you a lot. Don't like how in shape you are right now, and I'm sad to see you. Look so good, but I did.
The guy like didn't work out all week. Do I look different now than I did?
This motherfucker. I don't know. You look. You're like a fucking rectangle, but a tight one now. Tight one. It is so funny that we went to the same chiropractor, and he said that like. I'm held together by like tape and like glue, and that John is a statue of stone, which makes. I was thinking about if I had to chiropractic you, if I had to do what a chiropractor does, like when they do it, to other people, to me, like I can like throw my leg over the side, and they like push on your body so that it like bends both ways and breaks. And I was like, I can't even imagine John twisting his like hips. Like you are just literally made out of stone. Like, I could imagine him being like, okay, relax your neck. I'm going to crack it. Relax your neck. And he's like, I am. This is just it. You're just holding a boulder in your head, in your hand. And then it's just like, he just like moves it and nothing happens. Just like, nothing.
It's very much the
Did you get any cracks?
Yeah, I got
in the neck.
Neck
Did you get a crack in the lower back? No way.
I think so. Yeah, he definitely did something.
It did the thing where you swing your leg over?
No. Okay. Well, yes. I think that's what my leg
they put like all their body weight on you like that.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine your core just like not twisted, just like, nope.
No,
nope.
He actually said he's like you're more limber than I thought you were.
Oh wow!
Which I think just I set the bar so low.
Yeah.
But he was like, you actually have more mobility than I thought, but you have a torn hip.
Okay, so the reason I said that is because there's a lot of shit from last week. We could go on for like another 2 hours, but we're gonna try to hit you with the main 1 Minute Man stuff that we saw. Threads is out. Did you join Threads?
I joined it. I haven't like threaded anything. But it was easy. I wasn't going to, and then I learned like you just hit like accept like a button, happens. And I was like, okay, I guess.
Now, how about this though? If you want to delete your Threads account, you have to delete your Instagram account. So they got you, bitch. You ain't going anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to delete it though? Like, it's just like
if you don't want to, just don't use it. But if you, I don't know, if you just did want to delete it, it's like no, you can't. Yeah. I have quit Twitter, leading up to this, and was like. Maybe Threads will be like what Twitter was, but without like the toxicity of it, and maybe I can get back into that. And I learned 2 things. 1, I feel like you need the toxicity for these things to work, and 2, I don't like it anymore.
You don't like
the active tweeting or threading. Like I still read on Twitter, but I do not miss tweeting about things.
I had kind of the same thing where I had a few things like typed out where I was like, who cares?
But I used to. My favorite thing about Twitter was like when I did early morning Twitter club and irrational takes and hate at 8 and all these things where it was like, just fucking tweet like, I think if you use chopsticks, you're an asshole. And then we fucking go for an hour about it. And I don't know if I've just done that too much or ran my course, or if the people who like that used to be funnier and then it became hate, or whatever the reason. I'm just like, I don't want to do that
anymore. think that's what when like you start, I mean, and I think everything's ever changing and stuff like that, and how I just got sick of people being like taking it too seriously, and maybe they're not, and I just don't know them, and that's how they talk, and when they're kidding, I was like, no, you fucking weirdo, like I was just joking.
The key to the internet is the right answer. The internet works is when you take a non-serious topic seriously, but not too seriously.
Yeah,
it's like if I act like if you say Mario, you should fucking kill yourself. But at the end of the day, we're just like, we all understand. We're just like arguing for fun. But then people started to put too much political stuff into it, got too serious. It's not fun. So along comes Threads, and I'm like, maybe this will just kind of be like pressing the reset button on Twitter, and we can maybe start off fresh. And A, I just didn't want to do it, and B, like you can't do that because it's not organic enough. Like it's not like when TikTok started, it was like, oh, I can do this lip syncing thing. There's music. It had its own stuff.
Yeah.
So it was new. Threads is just Twitter with like people trying to make it work. It's just like brands and celebrities on there being like, welcome to Threads. Like, my favorite flavor of ice cream is chocolate. What about yours?
It's particularly weird because it's just like
interaction and shit. Ugh.
Just like we talked about with someone recently, how like social media is obviously it went on for a while where people were like, oh, some interns getting fired because they thought interns ran the fucking social media for billion-dollar corporations. Yeah. And then, but like now it's a job for just a regular person having social media as a job, where it's like it's time consuming.
I'd actually argue that it's like it's not like people should get more money, and it should be like one of your more
100%
smarter,
and
paid employees.
But because of that's how social media is used by celebrities, and they kind of set culture, like that's how regular people use it too. So like it becomes a job for just a regular person to have Instagram or have TikTok. Like I'm editing videos all day just to like I don't know, just to fucking talk to my friends, and that's weird. That at least it was like you'd had TikTok, you had to edit, and Instagram you pictures you posted, and then your Twitters you tweeted. But like now what people just copy and pasting onto Threads, like your exact tweet. That's insane.
And also,
like we we weren't talking about it on air. We were talking about it in here, but I thought it was on air. We were talking about it with Dan, and it's like that to keep up with all social media is why I started doing this job, so I didn't have to do that kind of because it feels like busy work. Particularly once you start just copying and pasting, or when you're like
I was
copying and pasting this to put it on your video.
When I do 1 Minute Man, I film them on Instagram, on TikTok. I post it to TikTok with the cover video, the thumbnail cover from TikTok, and then have to cut and paste the URL from TikTok into the website to get rid of the TikTok watermark to post it to Instagram, because if you post Instagrams with TikTok watermarks, it like suppresses it. In the process of cut and pasting the URL, though, I can't cut and paste the caption. So now I've got to rewrite the caption and make a new thumbnail because it's different from TikTok to Instagram. And while none of that is,
it's not arduous. It's not hard work, but it's
honestly,
almost worse than hard work, where it's like annoying little like thing.
Especially TikTok, you post it, it takes it's like taking a little bit to post. Then you can't copy the link until it's under review. I guess right away they review it for like copyright issues and all that. So if I'm in a rush and I'm trying to do it, you got to wait like a few minutes, and then I got to download it. It takes another couple minutes, and then I got to make a new thumbnail and then copy and and it's just like. In the end, it took like 10 minutes just to post these things to 2 different sites. And again, like 10 minutes is not that long. But you do that like every day and then do it a couple times a day. And all of a sudden, it's like all I feel like I'm doing is like writing headlines and thumbnails and blah, blah, blah. And that shit sucks.
The busy
like
work is the problem. That's why like I don't do like we're very thankful for Game Time and all this stuff. There are a lot of times I'm like, I'm just not going to go to Game Time because you got to do I'll just buy the ticket on Game Time.
Yeah.
Because doing that like little video in public gives me anxiety, and like I'll put it off until 3/4 of the way through the game. So like I won't even enjoy the first 3/4 of the game because I'll keep thinking, well, maybe I'll just die. I don't want to do this, and then I finally fucking do it, and then I'm like, oh, I enjoy the last quarter of the game. I'm like I'd rather just buy because it's just. They're the little things about work that you don't usually have, but like in this job. Yeah. And then now we have them, and it's like, oh, that's just so like a little thing.
And Threads just feels like it's a thing you have to do, not want to do. Like Twitter to me is the internet. Like that's where I search for pictures. That's where I find my news. I don't even really use Google. I search for it on Twitter. Threads is not like that. Threads is like, we're celebrities here to tweet.
Yeah.
We're people on Instagram ready to tweet. Versus like Twitter is where you go for news. Twitter is where you go for like the quickest, fastest reaction. All that shit just does not feel like they.
Yeah, I haven't opened Threads.
I did, but like you can't like search. First of all, I have a timeline without following people. So I guess they're just giving me my Instagram followers, which is like those are two different things to me.
Right.
That's independent George and relationship George colliding. I don't follow people on Instagram that I do on Twitter and vice versa. I follow fucking weirdos on Twitter. I follow like pretty girls and funny people on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's two very different things. So Thread and I don't know how this works because it is just the app. The essence of like tweeting is just like writing words on a timeline. So I don't know how you like copyright that. But Elon Musk suing, it's like, yeah, I mean, you just stole Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the rules are because,
But then, Facebook just stole MySpace. But you got a wall, you got your photos, your friends.
I mean, Zuckerberg does it, he, like, when Snapchat became a thing, they added a Snapchat feature.
Yeah.
When TikTok became a thing, they added a TikTok feature. This feels like it's a whole different app, and I don't know if there are rules against it, but it's like, I don't know what legally you can say. But if we're being honest, you stole Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you can prove in a court of law or whatever. But it's like, come on, man, you know what you did here. But I don't think it's gonna work as is. They need to like let it be. Like when like Black Twitter would go off and you would sit there and read all the tweets, like that just is not happening on Threads.
Right.
Like the very fun viral moments of Twitter, when something happens on TV, you're not like, let me go run to Threads. If they get there, maybe, but I don't know. I have no interest in it really, as is. This is also spurring the Zuckerberg versus Elon thing. Apparently, Zuck just posted another picture where he's working out with Stylebender, where he's just fucking jacked. So I don't know where this is going to go for Elon. He's talking about having a literal dick measuring contest.
Dude, I can't.
You know.
I don't think I've ever hated a person.
Yeah.
I hate him.
But you know what's funny? The people who don't hate Zuckerberg, like Zuckerberg is just like a shitty billionaire too.
But like
But he
I
has
don't
this-
even hate. I don't hate Musk because he's a billionaire. I hate Musk because he's just so
Try hard, unfunny.
impossibly lit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
let's have a jerk right. Shut the like.
Yeah.
I hate both of them. Like if you have one of them, and you're like I'm rooting for this person. You're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
But even like I'll watch the fight. Don't get me wrong. But like I don't care who the fuck. If you have a favorite billionaire, you're a fucking dork.
Totally.
To the
Totally.
utmost degree.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. That's like the ultimate dick riding for like really no reason. You know, at least with like sports, it's like, I don't know, you're doing something like really cool that I once did and I wish I could do, and this
You
billionaire
brought me
shit
happiness.
was just
Yeah,
yeah.
technically, you brought me nothing. But
nothing,
misery.
zero.
You
But you know what is funny? The same people who hate Elon Musk for like political reasons and they make it like a really serious combo, they're like Zuckerberg's in front of Congress like 10 times a year talking about like, you know, Facebook being like illegal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like if you have a problem, then you got to really have a problem with both of them because they're both doing things that are like shitty.
Yeah,
but it just seems like
they
it's just-
both
both just
they both
like ass
suck.
and all
They're
billionaires.
both
Yeah.
weirdo. Like there was a time back when America was a great country. We fucking bullied nerds.
Yeah.
We didn't cheer them on the internet and suck their dicks in the replies. We fucking bullied them. We fucking stuffed them in lockers, and we fucking gave them swirlies, and we made fun of them for having glasses. That was fucking America. That was my America. We didn't fucking, oh, thank you, Lord Elon. Fuck you. We fucking hated nerds. When did this happen? That and then we allowed them to have this confidence, like we're fighting the Roman Colosseum. Tiger should eat his fucking head off. Elon Musk should have to take his dick out for a dick measuring contest in a Roman Colosseum, and much like Maximus Aurelius had to deal with, the tiger comes running out and just fucking sucks and bites his dick off.
We need MABA, Make America Bully Again.
The sucking is important because I want him to feel good for a second. I want him to think it's gonna go well, and then rock, fucking bites his dick right off.
Yeah, these guys really are fucking losers.
They're
honestly.
losers, and being a loser is fine as long as you don't act like a cool guy once you're a loser.
Well, you know
just
what?
because you get some money.
At least like Zuckerberg is like, there is a world where if Elon Musk was just like, man, like I am at the forefront of space exploration. That's a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like you're like a smart dude who like figured out rockets and like, you know, you're gonna go to space and like. But you just overplayed your hand so much. You know, like,
I'm a shitposter. You suck at it.
yeah,
you suck
a
at it.
Meme lord or whatever they call him. It's like shut up.
Yeah, you
dude.
can't call yourself a meme. He's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You were a smart guy. Being a smart guy is great. I'm not
That's what I
trying to
mean.
shame
like,
that.
If
like
he just was like
being a smart guy is cool.
I'm a brilliant dude, and maybe I'm a little bit quirky, so like you get to see my personality a little bit. But then it became like he got one little taste of like Elon's funny, and like
yeah.
shut
Oh,
the
like
fuck up.
people talk about that, like athlete funny.
Billionaire funny. The bar is
Tech
impossibly
billionaire
low.
funny is it's. If
Impossibly
you've even
low.
smirked or giggled at a single
It's
thing,
incel funny. Is what it
It's-
is.
oh
That's
my
what it is.
God,
it's
it's
all
insufferable.
the incels. So fuck those guys. The ultimate Mad Libs headline, maybe of all time, is Britney Spears being smacked in the face by Victor Wembanyama's security. That feels like a AI generated, like, you know, click TMZ headline generator, and it just like throws names in. When I saw that, I was like, what in the absolute fuck is happening here? I'm stunned by how many people are like anti-Britney on this. Like she like ran up on him and like jumped on him. Like, I don't know. I feel like fans, it's not like totally outside of the realm of possibility of a fan to like go up to somebody.
No, I saw the video. I actually saw the video. I had it great because I got in early to Minneapolis. I had the funniest day where I was just like alone, like no one was there yet. Mark had missed his flight, Chief wasn't there yet, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna like try and find some shit to do. So I went to an indigenous restaurant that was like very much.
What does that mean?
It's just indigenous food, which
indigenous of
like Native Americans.
Oh, okay.
And the it was like by the sous chef, Sioux.
Oh.
And it was like Owamni, I think it was called. We're gonna go there when we're in Minnesota. It was delicious.
What were you eating?
It was really good. Wow stuff.
Horses?
It was elk, bison, scallops. I got a ton of stuff. Crawfish. And then, like, I forget what it was called, but it was like some duck, like, kind of paste type deal.
Bottomless pit, bro. You're disgusting.
It was really good.
You just mentioned, like, a whole zoo's worth of meat. You're an animal yourself.
And,
people are one day going to be like, I ate elk, I ate bison, I ate Feidelberg. You fucking zoo animal.
But, and then, like, it's like very anti-colonialism. It was, like, very, like, they use non-colonial wheats and all this stuff, like, very much like, hey, you're on fucking stolen land right now. Like, as you're eating,
white man, as you eat it, yeah.
And then I wrapped up my dinner, paid my exceptionally high tab because everything is very well sourced. Yeah. It was like a $240 lunch. It was crazy. It was nuts. And then I called an Uber, went right to the Mall of America, and rode amusement parks inside and ate Auntie Anne's. And it was
you did all this alone?
It was a nice little balance of the day.
You did all that alone?
I had nothing to do.
Bro, just go to your, like, hotel and masturbate. I mean, what are you doing? That is crazy behavior. You rode rides alone?
Oh, yeah, baby. I got a picture
now, wait,
of me.
are you doing this for content, or you did this for fun?
Did I?
You waited around, like, other children and got on a roller coaster
by yourself? The Mall of America. Everyone's just a fat person. There's no kids. Everyone's just a bunch of obese people. Yeah, this is me in line. I take a picture of myself, but just
get out of here.
I did the SpongeBob fucking ride. Does flips inside? No, not outside. Does flips. It's inside. It's crazy.
You just waited solo.
Just having a good time.
Everyone else is like on a date or whatever. There's two people sitting together, and you would just sit like in your own row.
I was just sitting there, and I'm saying all this to say that I'm in line at the SpongeBob bus stop. Doing flips at the Mall of America, having my balanced day of let's help the indigenous and then let's go be American. And I'm sitting there being like, this is peak America. Like, it just capitalism and
just
like
give me
the
a gun to
Pepsi
finish
ride.
it off. That's all I need. Yeah.
And then I just opened Twitter and it was like Britney Spears got smacked by Victor Wembanyama, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
Now it's peak America. Like, correction. Now it's happened.
I could not believe the comments and the feedback of these guys who are like Department of like Homeland Defense hardos who are like, Victor Wembanyama is the like the target. And it is like the security guard's subject, and it is his job to protect him, as if he was like the president and we were in like a war zone. You know, it's like he was at a club in public where like there's a chance that fans are gonna come up for pictures and autographs and stuff. There's not like a, no one can come near the, like you're Victor Wembanyama, like you're out there.
I don't think we're on the same side of this. I don't think anyone in the video did anything wrong. I think Britney was fine. I think the security guard. I only saw like one angle. Like he kind of just like threw his hand. Like it wasn't like this vicious attack. I didn't think. I thought he was like, get the fuck out of here.
No, but the way he was like, I did not see who she was. Meaning like, so he just fucking swung. I don't think that's the job of security. I don't think it is. I think the job is to like kind of assess the situations, because if that was a little kid or an old woman, or in this case somebody who's famous, again, if it was somebody really important in a very like dangerous territory, I could understand like we can't let anybody near you. If you're like a basketball player at a club, at a restaurant, there might be people coming up to you where maybe you're supposed to. I think you would maybe step in between, or like you put your arm out or whatever, but to just be like whack. And I am also, I guess I'm the only one who thinks this. I don't think it was her hand. I think his hand, the way it looks to me is like her hand seems to go down, not back. But whatever. That's besides the point. I think the security guard's job is to like protect him, but also not cause like a major incident, you know?
I don't. again, maybe there are different angles. I didn't think there was a whacker. I saw it almost like a fly swat. I heard someone come running up. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one angle
I just
from
see
behind.
like her head like whacks back. No, I think we're talking about the same video. I don't think he like punched her in the face, but I think he did like a whack like that, and without looking at who it was. I don't know. Like I think there's usually security is either more aware of people running up
for
on.
like Mike to do that at a bar.
That's what Dave said. I think Mike would be like. I think part of it is to do it in like a I don't know, safe manner or whatever. Like I could see Mike like stepping in between somebody or putting an arm out, but to just blindly like whack. I don't think Mike would ever get caught like hitting a random person in the face, because I think that becomes an issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like, particularly when you're like, that looked like to me like they were almost at the door, where like wherever they like looked like they were leaving. It was like, we're out. Like we already got through the mask. Get the fuck
that
out
was
of here.
what was weird too. Though he was like, their report was like fans were swarming him and Britney grabbed him, and it was like, well, none of that is true.
Yeah.
So like now you're already the video already is kind of showing otherwise. Like Britney was like, I went up to him to tap him on the shoulder, and they were like, he was swarmed and grabbed him. So I'm like, well, one of you was lying right away, and the video seemed to show Britney's side was just more true, like just walking up to him. But
he like, I mean, like if someone did that to Britney, if someone went like used her like footsteps running behind up to Britney Spears, it would get at least that reaction.
I'm surprised that Britney didn't have somebody fucking there right now to be like to fucking punch that guy in the face. Like, you're not gonna let my client get punched in the face.
All her security guards quit because she kept farting on him.
I'll tell you what, wrong, right, whoever side you're on, Victor Wembanyama doesn't make this right. Like his reputation and career on the internet will be the Britney guy for the next like 25 years. They will not stop. They do not stop. They fought that fight for Britney when nobody was talking about it for like a decade straight, until
while being very wrong. They're like, we know we're wrong.
They took it to the fucking like Supreme Court eventually. Like they will watch that guy. The fact that all those Britney fans watched a Summer League Spurs game and just like torched him on the internet.
Oh, did they?
Oh my God! The next night was his debut, and he was terrible. And it was just Britney fans just dunking on him, like just clowning him, like comparing. They were like, "This is what Britney was doing at 19," and it was like, pictures of her with the snake, and then it was a picture of Victor Wembanyama like on the floor laying down. All these memes about him like playing terrible. I was like, "This is gonna be your life on the internet forever."
That is the point. That's so awful.
If
look at 19-year-old kids, like, I don't know, they gave you a security guard when I got to Vegas, and he fucking didn't let someone run up on me.
And he's young enough. I mean, everybody knows who Britney is, but he probably really doesn't know. Like, he didn't live her.
Yeah,
he's from
like
overseas.
Her Celine Dion.
Like, yeah, he's probably like, I don't even know. But that's why all the more reason to like clear the air here. Like, do something. Tweet her. Like make a like if I was a PR team, I'd be like, take Britney out to dinner, send her a care package, give her Spurs tickets, whatever.
Lock her in her cage, treat her like her dad. Feed
her lithium. He's not gonna escape that.
Someone said it's the perfect way for him to get introduced to America.
Yeah.
Be not part of something. Be attacked by strangers.
And now you're the bad guy. The only other guy who's more of a fucking menace out there than Britney right now, Usher is just causing all sorts of issues in the world of like feminism and social media and these chicks. He's a problem. He
like sang to someone's wife.
So he's been like doing these shows or on tour or whatever where he like dances up on women and sings to them and shit. And it's always been like famous people at his shows.
The
first one.
Call it.
What?
The Akon tour. The mature version.
The first one was Keke Palmer, who is I don't really know.
Bill Murray's girlfriend. Is that Keke Palmer?
No, that was Khalees. Keke Palmer, I think, is just like an influencer.
No, Keke Palmer did. What's her hit?
She's someone important.
Oh, she's crazy. Like, she has one smash of a song.
Okay. I've just seen that one video of her shaking her ass.
Bottoms Up by Keke Palmer.
Yeah?
Woo, buddy. That's a hit, dude.
So she has a baby daddy, and there was a video of her like getting danced up on by Usher, kind of like a lap dance thing. And then her baby daddy tweeted like, you know, this is a woman who has kids and is like doing this. They're not married. They're not together. It's just that they share a kid together. She's single. She's out. Star is like dancing on her, and she's like having fun with it. And it turned into this whole like Twitter, you know, how should women act? How should men act? But then he did it to Saweetie, and then he tried to do it to Winnie Harlow, you know that model? She's the girl who has like the splotchy skin on her.
Okay. Yeah.
And so she jumped up on Kyle Kuzma's lap right away, being like, this is my boyfriend. Like, stay the fuck away from me. I'm not going to get caught up in... Because much like the Victor Wembanyama thing, like, all these people are like fighting for Keke Palmer or against her and whatever. And she's like, I just was at a concert and like a guy sang to me. And it turned into this like feminist versus misogyny like war of what you can and can't do when you're in a relationship, when you're in public, when you're with a person, when you're not with a person. So if Usher's coming your way and you're any female of any like status, plan your attack. Like either run away if you don't want to be involved, or fucking you're gonna get divorced or something. Usher is Mr. Steal Your Girl right now.
I think I saw, what was it, like, why are you dressed like that as a mom or something like that?
Probably. Yeah, there was a lot of that with Keke Palmer. She's a mom.
I saw like
she's super hot and like sexy, like, you know.
Like someone tweeted like, why are you dressed like that as a man? And it was like, Mario. Like I saw memes of it, and now as you're explaining it to me, I'm thinking that's where it came from.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah,
like,
it was a heavy like, you know, it's like this is your ex-husband basically, or ex, you know, whatever, who you do have kids with, but you don't owe him shit as far as like what you do in public or romantically or whatever else, you know. And also it's just like a lap dance at like a concert, which is a thing that like both men and women do.
Yeah.
Like
you see lap dances I get. They got fucking latex masks. They got like I guess a lap dance, a lap dance is something where like, if you see it you're probably like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I didn't see that.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
it's not great, but he,
like,
he put out like
I had
a
a girl
tweet.
tell me like I got a lap dance, I'd be like, oh word. She's like, here's the video. I'd be like, oh
no thanks, don't like that. Yeah, but you also never in a million years would put out like a little tweet manifesto being like, this woman here is a you know, mother of two. Like who does she think she is? Like, which brings us to the final one, the Jonah Hill fiasco, which is a classic. Everyone's the asshole ETA situation. Where his ex-girlfriend from a couple years ago posted all of their text messages. I go
out of my way to not read these things.
Because you want to still like Jonah Hill?
No, because it's just treat people how you want to be treated.
Then you don't want people to read you.
Everyone, when it happens to me one day, I didn't read anything.
Bro, I honestly thought about that while I was making 1 Minute Man. And I was like, fuck, when the text messages of mine come out, it's going to suck. But... I mean, there's this story, really, if you want to boil it down, is just two crazy people who are dating each other, and none of this should be like public, and they should have never met, they should have never dated, and they definitely shouldn't be making everything public. But it's just two crazy people who were horrible for each other, and that's pretty much all of relationships.
This is basically my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Now, okay. So here's, before I start, I do this on my video as well. I think anything that happens in a relationship behind closed doors stays behind closed doors unless it's like violence and illegal. Otherwise, I think shit gets weird and fucked up. And sometimes you're the bad guy. Sometimes you're the good guy. Sometimes, you know, it just, relationships bring out the worst in you. You bring out the worst in each other. And a lot of shit gets said. But that's kind of like you enter into a relationship, and that means you're going to treat, things are going to be different than like friendships are. And when it goes south, like that's part of the social contract is then like, okay, we break up, but then that's it. That should be it, I think.
Yeah.
And then especially when you're dealing with famous people and not famous people, because it's like, well, I can lose everything because of like how I acted in my relationship. Nothing will happen to you if I put you on blast. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this sucks. So I don't condone ever putting anything out there. Also, some of her posts afterwards were like, my therapist telling me that I'm type 1 bipolar Well, that's we're gonna get to that. But she openly says she's like bipolar and anxiety and depression, so she has like mental health issues as well. So these are two people who just probably should not be like putting all their shit out there because they're both crazy. Also, Jonah Hill has another girlfriend and he just had a baby, so blowing somebody up when their baby's like 2 months old is just fucked.
Yeah.
That all aside, these text messages, John, they were unbearable. The amount of therapy speak and just parroting
That he had?
John. First of all, he said the word surf culture like 30 times. Which, on the one hand, at the root of this issue, it sounds like he was mad every time she posted a video of her surfing or in a bikini.
See the video of the Usher concert.
But I also could see a scenario where, like, she was, like, sucking some dude's dick, and she's like, that's just surf culture, babe. You know? So who knows what happened behind closed doors, but he was like, surf culture is, like, not part of my, like, boundaries. He was just like, if you need any of the following things, and he puts, like, bullets in the text message. If you
this is, I see things where I also saw this, like, thing, and I'm like, why are people talking like this?
I know, that I was actually thinking we could make a very funny one for KFC Radio, I think. Like, if you do any of the following, like sleep and eat at night, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, if you need to, like, post a picture in a bathing suit, if you need to, like, hang out with other men when you're surfing, if you need to hang out with women who are single, it was like all of these, like, really regular fucking things.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like, if you feel the need to, like, be doing drugs every night and, like, you know, taking off your clothes in public, like, all this crazy shit, it's legitimately just about her, like, being in a bathing suit and surfing. Like, he started dating a model and a surfer and then didn't like when she was, like, modeling and surfing. And she even has a text that was like, it would have been cool if you, like, thought about this before we started dating, but now it's a little too late. But, dude, the therapy talk, I can't do it. I hate everybody who does it. These are my boundaries. I am emotionally available for only this. My mental bandwidth can handle this. And if you, if you do not comply, this is triggering for me. And I need to, like, cut you off from my train of, whatever. It's just like, bro,
dude,
what? Why are you talking like that? You're just some guy that you pay to talk to you talks this way, and then you just repeat it. Why are you doing that?
It is the perfect example again of, like, the internet ruined everything. Where, like, it got so prevalent with how people talking, and, like, sure, maybe 5 years ago, this was I feel like the good way to talk to your partner is always a new way, where it's like, this didn't work, let's try this new thing.
Yeah.
Where, like, sure, maybe, like, in a textbook, it's almost like fucking advanced stats versus eye test.
Yeah.
Like, in a textbook, sure, maybe the way to have a conversation with your partner is say, these are my boundaries, I'd appreciate if you did it. The fucking normal ass way, the way that someone goes, that guy can play, is you go, hey, I fucking hate this, and it fucking pisses me off when you do this.
Don't do it anymore. Yes.
Like,
but even that, people were like, and again, the reaction, the feedback, I thought, is fucking crazy. The amount of people being like, this is just, like, I think the pendulum went way too far with feminism, and now has swung way too far the other direction. With, like, this is just a man laying down the law, saying what he wants, and if, like, a girl can't give it to him, then, like, he has every right to do this. It's like, these are not boundaries for his behavior. They're boundaries for her behavior.
Yeah.
You don't get to start dating someone who surfs and then say, I don't like when you post videos of you surfing. That's not a fair boundary. And you can have that as your boundary, but then you just break up with that person.
Yeah,
you don't get to, like, torture them and text them and like, make them feel bad and, like, try
but there also is a point where you're just like, well, this way, like, I'm not going to do that, so I'm breaking up with you.
True.
Right?
And that's where, like, I'm like, both these people
you shared your boundary. I don't respect it, so we're done.
Right.
Like,
and that's where she had a slew of texts that were like, she actually said to him, you're the GOAT in her text messages, which made me, like, want to imagine dating someone and saying you're the GOAT.
I give people would text the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't think I've ever said it, but I could see myself saying it. And,
she was like, you're so, I mean, in her
them.
defense, she was like, you're so famous and cool and, like, iconic. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I'm not good enough for you, so you're gonna dump me, and then I spiral, and when I spiral, I do this, and and when I do that, you do this. It was this whole thing, and I was like, yeah, you guys are just, one of you should have just broken up. But this is what I mean. I've been in that spot before. It's like, we should not be together, and we carried on way too long because of whatever the reason may be. But like these things are just like, And then that one text was like, my therapist says I'm the best boyfriend in the world. And I was like, kill yourself, dude.
Yeah, I lied to my therapist too.
I thought our girl Rosebud like summed it up best, where she was like, I'm not gonna judge Jonah Hill for having like weird and bad text messages that like you send to your ex. We all do that. What we all don't do is then put out a documentary about how good our therapist is. That's a tough look, especially when it appears that all you talk to your therapist about is your girlfriend's bathing suits and the boys she hangs out with at the beach. And now is like, the world needs to hear from this guy. You know?
That's what maybe like we're always talking about the pendulum, and like maybe everyone doesn't need to be in therapy. If you're in therapy and you're like, my girlfriend posts pictures in bikinis. Therapist should be like, get the fuck over it,
dude. Yeah,
like, get out of here.
But that guy goes, first of all, I want you to keep coming to me, and I want you to keep paying me. So these are your boundaries, and they need to respect that. And if they can't, you need to tell them in a calm manner that like they need to blah 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 blah. It's like, no, you need to either say get over it or dump her.
I had a friend who got dumped by the therapist.
Yeah,
they're just like, I think we're done.
So that's I think I don't want to be like the totally anti-therapy. Part of me does say this. Part of me thinks this. Women wanted guys in therapy. You fucking got it. Fucking be careful what you ask for, because it was a lot better when we would just go and you
guys
would get your way.
Literally get blackout drunk and do a podcast instead of going to therapy. Trust me, it's better for you this way.
It's better because what's gonna happen is now you're gonna get a bunch of stubborn dudes who are argumentative, and now they think they have the backup because some guy who they paid $200 an hour taught them some buzzwords vocab that they're gonna throw at you, and the way you throw gaslight at me, I'm gonna throw boundaries at you, and we're gonna fight until the fucking sun comes up, when it used to just be like, fine. That was it. It used to be, okay, fine. Now you got your wish. Men in therapy. But
I go to therapy. I go to therapy to fucking workshop my jokes, and that's it.
If you have an issue,
all right.
Scratch that from the playlist. If you have an issue, you should go to therapy for it. And I think if you resolve that issue, or like learn how to like, here are the tools to get you through this when it pops up, then I think you should leave. This like lifelong, never-ending therapy, you're just constantly making your issues worse for yourself.
Dude, when I go, it's like, so what do you want to talk about today? Like, I don't know, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, you could so easily be like, why are you here? Like, I don't know, what you got going on? Like, also, I got nothing.
When they're like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, well, what we should talk about is like the worst thing in my life, but I'm not going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Like, I almost need you to know my issues so that you can force me to do it. Otherwise, I don't know. We're going to talk about the Mets.
It really is. I think we talked about it with Rory and Mal, where like it is like, I think the New York Times had the article where it's like, we don't know if it works. Like, all science is like, it's 50%, but like 50% of like whether it cures anything. But it's just like people like talking to people.
Yeah.
So just talk to people.
And people love sympathy. And a lot of doctors giving them sympathy, or in this case being like, yeah, she's wrong. I mean, references.
Science does prove that, like, yeah, the way they talk to you makes you feel good. Yes.
Yeah.
Does it cure depression? No, but it makes you feel good. So you can just talk to people. And that's not an anti-therapy. You do both. But it's also like, I feel good when we're done with the show because we had a conversation.
Yeah, you get it off your chest. I also, and the therapy speak has got to stop. If you got an issue, you can be like, hey, I don't like this. But the whole like
what was it you guys when we did the show? You guys were both like, I was like, you guys gotta get off therapy TikTok, because you're like, you guys ever like, I think it might have been you. You guys were just saying the most normal things that is like.
Oh, it was just like saying something embarrassing and then thinking about it for the next like 3 days.
Yeah, I was like, everyone does that.
It's just oh yeah, I mean the amount of like TikTok diagnoses. I'm like, okay, I have ADHD, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have all these things. It's like, do you ever like have arguments in the shower with yourself? You might be bipolar. I'm like, what? No, what the fuck are you talking about? Crazy. One last thing. Have you seen what's going on? Oh yeah, we talked about it a little bit with Adam and Lena the Plug.
Yes.
So Adam 22, very famous podcaster in the hip hop world, No Jumper podcast. Him and his wife, now wife for a long time girlfriend, they jumped into the OnlyFans world, and they are porn stars, but basically only with each other, and then female porn stars. So Adam and Lena do a show called Plug Talk on OnlyFans, where they sit down with a female porn star, they interview her, and then the second hour, they have sex with her on camera. Pretty cool business model. And they've done a lot of that, both in their personal lives and on professionally, like having threesomes with chicks. And then recently, I guess because she was like, I used to get off on this, and it's kind of become like plain and normal to me. and I want to hook up with another dude. She said the conversation. I listened to the interview between them, and it kind of normalizes it a lot more because this is obviously so far fetched for people to think about. But she was just like, she said that she had a conversation where she's like, do you really think we're like never gonna sleep with anybody else other than each other for the rest of our lives? Which I think is a kind of like a thought that people have when it's like, this is it, like forever, you know? And they were like, well, we'll probably do like some swinging. And when they were much younger, there was a time where Adam and another dude fucked her together. So they're like, we already have done a 2-guy threesome, but it was back when they weren't really dating. So they were having this kind of conversation, and I guess it just came to be that she was like, I want to do this. And he was like, okay. But they turned it into business, basically, and they hyped it up, and she fucked this gigantic black dude, which in his world, in the hip-hop world, a lot of people are being like, you got this white guy who, like, has an ego and clout in the rap world, and some huge black dude cucks you and fucks your wife. So people in that realm are, like, going crazy over it. People being like, you know, Adam is like a cuck. Adam is down bad, and he's just trying to cope. Adam hates this, and his wife is just torturing him. But then, like, you listen to the interview, and they're like, I don't know, they're just into kinky shit. Right. You know what I mean? He was like, everyone thinks I'm a cuck, and he's like, I'm not a cuck because, like, cuck usually means, like, I want to be humiliated. Yeah. He's like, I think
also you watch it if you're a cuck, right?
Yeah. It's like I sit in the corner, and they, like, abuse me and belittle me while they fuck. He's like, I just think it's hot to watch my girl have sex. And he genuinely was like, even if I was a cuck, he was like, I don't know. I wasn't that horrified by it. And it's just like, you know, he said a lot of guys are talking to me about, like, if it was them. And it's like, yeah, you know, you and your girl who live in, like, the suburbs, living a regular life, like, it's fucking weird for you. We fuck on camera. It's just a different thing. But all that being said, a lot of the interview, they also talk about, like, how business is booming and how much money they're going to make. And then Lena brought up how, like, Adam has cheated before in the past and it still bothers her. So I was like, if your motivations are like, hey, I want to swing and I want to fuck other guys, and you're cool with that and you think it's hot, and then even if you're like, hey, let's make a little money because that's what we do.
They must have made.
But I think, I don't even know if it's, like, out yet. So I think he said business is already booming. Because I thought this was fake at one point. Yeah. And I texted him. I was like, this is for real. Like, there's actually a video coming out. There's not some, like, prank. And he was like, no, it's coming. But he even in the conversation, people are like, you can hear in the conversation, he talks about how he's uncomfortable with it and he's just, like, dealing with it. And I was like, well, I don't know. Yeah, if your partner comes to you and says, here's something I really want to do, and you are uncomfortable with it, but you, like, allow them to do it, I actually think that's, like, a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, rather than just being like some Jonah Hill shit. Like, these are my boundaries, I'm out. He's like, okay, if we do it, here's how it's got to be done. Like, you know, I got to know who it is. He was like, you have to be very loving to me in, like, when you do it. Like, you can't just ignore me and like, all these different things. It's like, that just sounds like a couple who does shit outside the norm, and they talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people like, they've got a kid. What are they going to say about that? But, yeah, I don't know. When that girl's older and they find out that mom got, like, you know, fucked on camera by some, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when they get there. But right now, it just sounds like a couple who decided to do some kinky shit that people aren't used to, and the world has, like, you know, flipped out over it. It's kind of crazy.
But that's probably what you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they're, like, ride the wave. But I'm also like, they have sex on camera with other people. It just used to always be girls. Now it's a guy, and people are like, this is outrageous. What?
Well, it is. There are two different ways. Like, I mean, chicks in college just make out at bars.
Yeah, that is the big double standard.
In their 30s, just get to a bar, you get 2 shots of tequila, you start kissing girls.
Yeah, you can't. It just doesn't.
I walked into Big Gay 90s one time.
Bro, could you imagine? Could you imagine though, if it was just like, oh man, like, we got so fucked up last night. Me and John did a couple shots and we're kissing.
Were we making out? Did we kiss last night?
Yeah, right.
Pass the pancakes. Dude. Oh my god, that was crazy.
That was crazy. Like, that would be so fucking wild if we just kissed. Like, that would be crazy. What are you doing later, man? You wanna go out? All right, let's get this voicemails quick and then we'll do Adam. It's the summer of pirate water, baby. I got a video sent to me the other day that was a dad just floating in his pool, sipping on a pounder of Bahama Mama.
Living the dream.
And I was just thinking, what an awesome world. Like, I knew it was going to be a party drink. I knew that the younger kids and the college kids were going to be raging, drinking a $2, 10% alcohol by volume, summertime flavored party drink. I knew it was going to be at tailgates and at colleges and all that, frat parties, all that shit. I just never envisioned the dad of like two or three floating on a raft in the pool, just getting drunk off of one can of pirate water. Yeah,
it's easy, right? Why you want to drink 6 IPAs or however many? Get a pirate water in you, you're golden.
And not only to mention, like, for yourself, you don't want to be like bloated and chugging all that. Also,
it's a healthy drink.
Totally. But when your wife or your mom or whoever in your life that bothers you about this stuff, they probably don't know. Oh, I've only had one, honey. It doesn't matter. That one will do the trick. They don't have to know that. So right now you can get it in Margarita, Sex on the Beach, Bahama Mama, and Miami Vice. Next year we have even better flavors coming that are going to take this thing to the next level. We're all retiring off of pirate water because everybody from guys and girls in college all the way up to moms and dads later in life are loving pirate water. So go to drinkpiratewater.com or find pirate water at a local location near you, or you can order it on GoPuff. At this point, it's in a lot of different liquor stores and gas stations and convenience stores and all that. So buy it there, or if you want to have it delivered to your house, go to drinkpiratewater.com.
What's up? So this weekend I had a memory unlocked. My sister-in-law and my mother were talking, and the subject of safe words came up. So my sister-in-law texted me. She was like, do you remember what you and your brother's safe word was? I thought about it for a second, and I said, oh shit, yeah, it was corn on the cob. And I went down the Jersey Shore this weekend, and I was with a couple friends, and I was like, do you guys remember having a safe word? What was it? And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I don't know, maybe they grew up on the nicer side of town, I grew up on the bad side of town, so my parents established a safe word. And for, I don't know, maybe if you guys don't know, safe word when you were a kid, let's say my mom was picking up me and my brother from school and she couldn't make it, we had established always a safe word where, say, a friend's mom or somebody was picking us up, they would say, hey, your mom told me to pick you up. We would say, what's the safe word? She would say, corn on the cob. We'd be like, all right, we know you're good. And my friends were like, why the fuck would you ever do that? And I don't know. I thought that was like a normal thing growing up. So my question is, did you have a safe word?
Okay, I thought this was going.
What was your safe word?
That just needs to be labeled something differently. Because talking to your mom and sister about your safe words together is fucking wacky.
I thought it was gonna be. I obviously knew it wasn't gonna be like they were fucking kinky style. I thought it was gonna be like uncle. Like when you want someone to stop tickling you.
Yeah,
stop,
yeah.
Like, wrestling,
okay,
whatever.
but I thought it was gonna be more, hey dude, why are you calling it that? But I don't think I've ever done that. But it's not a bad idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
same thing. I don't think I'm gonna shock anyone when I say I did not have that. But
I would just go home with whoever. I would get into any van, no matter if they knew the code word.
My t-ball coach would pick me up from school.
No, that's I think that's actually a great, like. If you're ever uncomfortable about something, like ask them it's just like a code to know that like things are all good. I think that's actually a good idea. I might implement that with my kids.
Yeah, no,
but I just wouldn't call it a safe word. I call it a code word. Call it like the password, whatever. Safe words are for like no, don't put that in my ass. So having that with other family members, fucking weird.
I remember there was one time we were really little, and we were at my grandfather's house, and there was like some kind of cookout, or whatever. And me and my cousins went, and there were 2 girl cousins, and we went for just like a walk by ourselves, like went around the block, whatever. We were young, and I don't know why, but like we had this story that like someone tried to kidnap us, and we were like, we're gonna tell them about how they tried to kidnap us. It was like it didn't happen.
Here we go.
And
been a little while since we've had something utterly ridiculous from you. So you made up a story about getting kidnapped?
It wasn't very in detail. It wasn't like this big plan. It was like we came back and like.
And who was? Wait, you and who?
Like my two girl cousins. Like one of my older cousins. She was like somewhat. And she wasn't old. She's older than me, but not. Like,
Right.
And,
so you were like, let's go home and tell them that we were like out for a walk together and someone tried to kidnap us.
It wasn't even a plan. It was just like we came back, and my older cousin was like, someone tried to kidnap us,
and you just like rolled.
And they were like the parents and were like, really? And I was like, yeah, and they were like, all right, and that was just it. that was it. and that was the end of the story. It was like, I always remember, like, I remember my mom turning around. She was in like a Adirondack type chair, and she was just like, someone really tried to kidnap you, and I was like, yeah, and she was like, wow. That was it. Like, not even like I would have put a stop to it before like the police got involved or anything like that.
Didn't need to worry about that.
It didn't get to that part.
Didn't even get remotely close to that, John.
Like,
it didn't get to a third follow-up question. You got not even a question. You just got a story and a really, and that was it.
Really? Yeah. The red Adirondack chair. I can like sit on my grandfather like this big porch, and she was on the lower level. I'm just like, really? I was like, yeah.
Bro, I'm starting to
she
really.
probably just knew like we were lying. But
yeah, I'm sure. But I got shit the other day. I went to Fantasy Island in Long Beach Island. It's a little like kid amusement park, and it was me and Shay and Keegan. And Shay wanted to go on some rides that Keegan didn't want to go on. So specifically, one was the Ferris wheel. So big Ferris wheel. Keegan doesn't like to go high. So I said, hey, can he just hang out with you, like the guy who operates the fucking thing? So can he just like sit right here with you while we go on it? And I told my mom that, and she was like, I'm calling the police on you. Like, you can't be trusted. I'm calling Child Protective Services. Like, what's wrong with you? Leaving him with like the child trafficker. And I'm like, first of all, I could see him the whole time.
Yeah.
Second of all, when we were like younger, I remember playing a game at the Jersey Shore where we would throw a Frisbee into the ocean, and we would all run in and try to find the Frisbee like in the fucking waves at night with no lifeguards or parents. We were trying. It was a glow-in-the-dark Frisbee, like barely lit up, and it was 5 or 6 kids ranging from probably like 12 to like 6, just like rushing into the wake and the surf to find a fucking Frisbee. And nothing from you guys. Nothing at all. So I don't want to fucking hear it. I think I've come to realize that our generation of parents just were like, yeah, we don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Like the bad ones, sure, but even the good ones were kind of like, yeah, you know, all those stories of like, we used to just ride bikes. We came home when the lights were on, and we you know had a safe word because I don't know, maybe you just sent your neighbor to pick your kids up or whatever. Like none of that would happen.
Yeah.
I would never send someone else to pick up my kids. Like, I would never leave my kids alone. I would never do like any of that shit anymore.
Like, I don't feel like it's taking you.
It should be that way, and that's how it was for our parents. I just don't think they remember that. So, all right, next up.
Real quick, I was at a house in Vermont, and we were walking around the property, and there were fucking gravestones outside of it.
Oh, jeez.
Which was very scary to find the first day, but. Polly, Jonathan.
Ooh. Weirdos.
Hey guys, got a question for you. If there's this thing called an anti-resume, where essentially it's anything that you brag to your friends about, but you couldn't like put on an actual job resume, what would be on yours? So like, for example, like if you've done the 8 or 6, 12, 18, 24 challenge, or like if you've like banged Ice Spice prior to her being famous, or like something dumb that you could brag to, but you can't actually say in like a job interview, what would be on your guys?
So like,
how much time you got?
Really? What do you mean? Like, what's an example?
I went to big gay 90s Kinks party.
But it's got to be something that like, it can't just be a wild story. It's got to be something like,
yeah, I
like
guess
he said, like, like my dad loves to tell people that he didn't fuck Sharon Stone. He's like, it's great because everyone's like, oh, you fucked her? He's like, no, I actually turned her down.
Yeah, all right. I guess the
sometimes I bet a lot of people have like a music one. Like I saw that person play, I saw Taylor Swift before when she was doing open mics or whatever. But there's a lot of those. I saw this guy play in high school before he went pro, that kind of shit.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, my initial reaction was like, I got 100. Now I can't think of any. Fuck. An anti-resume?
Is that how he described it? Yeah.
I mean,
but it's not bad. It's just things that you can't actually brag about, is what he kind of said. So like you can't. It's an accomplishment that you jerked off like 24 times in a day, but you can't like put that on your resume.
Yeah.
You can't say I fucked Ice Spice before she was famous, but like if you're hanging out with people, they would go, "Oh shit, that's cool." Sadly, I don't know if I have a good one.
33% of my girlfriends have. Cut that.
Live show.
What if we just had 33% of my girlfriends have? You tell me. I don't know. There's probably a lot of things that could fit in there. A lot of things. I mean, I'd be like, I've been in People magazine. I had a week where I dominated the tabloids. I had TMZ outside my office waiting for me to leave. God damn it. I don't know if
those are good ones.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Anti-resume. Anti-resume. I guess ours would kind of be like Barstool and like the internet and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was.
Yeah, it's like a hard question because like there are things I just would brag about.
Yeah, Like, in our world, it's a resume.
Resumes are the resumes.
Yeah. That's where we differ from people. Yeah. Where it's like shit happens to us, and it's like we're gonna tell the world. Whereas everyone, I can't talk about that. But yeah, that would probably be mine. All right, let's do our interview. Divine's on the show. He's fucking.
By
awesome.
the way, from now on, we're gonna be doing voicemail of the week. So get your voicemails in.
Voicemail of the week. If you have the best voicemail, we send you pirate water and a whole care package of merch and all sorts of KFC radio stuff. So best video voicemail. You don't have to put your face on it, but it's got to be video submitted. You can win the care package. Okay, Adam Devine on KFC Radio. Let's talk to him. I know I'm sure you've talked about it a million times, but you brought up the cement truck thing, and it's just. I
won't shut up about it.
You should.
It's a real talking point.
I won't shut up about it because when you. This is a terrible thing to say, but getting to tell other people for the first time, that is amazing.
It's a fun.
If you're watching a movie or someone's like, "Oh, I love that movie," I'm like, Adam Devine was wrecked by a cement truck.
Yeah,
and they're like, "What? No way!" Yeah, look it up. Boom, ran over.
Yeah, fun knowledge to drop. Yeah, it was a good excuse in high school because I was a good little kid baseball player, right? But like probably wouldn't have been that good. Like
now that it's all potential.
Yeah. So then after that, it would have been like, I would have been the star shortstop. Goddamn knees. Yeah.
You have that unscratched lottery ticket.
Yeah, totally. It was like, I wasn't fourth grade all-star, but did I hit 2 home runs in 4th grade? Yeah, I did. But they're like, with the short fence? Yeah, the short fence.
It went over.
Yeah, but everybody had the short fence.
That could have been your villain origin story, and instead
it could have been. Yeah.
I truly though, I don't know how you stayed.
Like, it sucks because I still have to deal with health issues from it, and like there's like weird shit that happens with my body because everything's a little off. But I wouldn't trade it in because, like,
wait, for real?
I for real wouldn't, because I wouldn't be talking with you guys here at Barstool.
Promoting The Outlaws on Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix, July 7th. That should be top of mind. But yeah, no, like really, because like super blue collar family, no one like. Going to college is like whoa, look at him go. Right. So to like move to Hollywood to pursue a career in acting wouldn't have been. But
do you think that was because of that? Like, I mean,
my parents told me, they were like, yeah, it's because you got hit by the damn cement truck that we were like, hey, he didn't die. Yeah, go follow your dreams.
Oh, we owe him one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We let him play in the street. So
holy shit! I was gonna say, what's the correlation? But yeah, I mean, I think
it was
family
pretty.
Really,
because like we didn't know anyone, and we didn't know anyone west of Omaha. So like to move to California, which was like the first time any of us had been there, where it was like, I saw a girl smoking a joint, sunbathing topless. The day I signed my lease when I was 18 years old, I'm like, this is the greatest place. And by the way, I've never seen that since. I was like, was she just there welcoming like 18-year-old boys? It was like the apartment complex hired this woman to just whip her tits out and smoke a joint and be like, this is normal here.
See this every day, kid.
Yeah.
So Kumail Nanjiani talks about first time he came to America was the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, really?
And he's like, it's just like the movies. This place is crazy.
Dude, I did the Macy's Day. I'm sorry.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but like you went out on a whim at 18, or like, did you have like a role, or like did you get a little something at home?
No, and I wasn't like
I'm gonna go be a movie star.
You hear how like Ashton Kutcher was like spotted in a mall, and they're like, you have to be a star, and then like his first audition was for that '70s show, and they're like, I'm not that good looking. Like it took me a long time to like find my way, and I just moved here. I moved to California and met Blake and Kyle Newacek, who we created Workaholics with, like day one at community college.
Wow.
In improv class. And I was like, the guy with the little afro was like really funny, so I started chopping it up with him.
Honestly, that's one of those stories in its own right. Day one of community college, you meet these two guys. That's as lucky as him in a fucking mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure. Like, and it was like, we say that all the time about each other. We're like, the reason we made it is because we had each other. And like you were always pushing that person to
except for Blake,
like,
who was like, "Don't do these movies."
Well, yeah. but it was like actively going like, well, he's writing that thing, so I'm gonna write this thing, and like you're constantly making each other, you know.
Did it ever get competitive though? Like in a like a toxic way where it was like was there any
they might hate me. I'm wearing all white. I got the rollie on.
Why did
I'm
you
wearing
just
all
say
white.
no to the all white? It clearly is. At the end of the day, it's not going to bother you right
now. No, I don't think so. Like they're like those guys, like my brothers, and you just want them to win. Yeah. And none of us have gotten like that.
Right.
Like I feel like if one of us
left you in the dust or something.
If like Durs was like Brad Pitt level fucking famous, and we're like, well, fucking put us in some goddamn thing. I feel like we're all
right.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.